Gynderfynol Cwpan Cymru. A Seintiau Newydd sy'n croesawu Bae Colwyn in today's Welsh Cup semi-final. We also have commentary in English for this afternoon's match on Sky Plus, Freeview or Virgin Media. Use the red button. If you're on a TiVo or a Sky Q box, use the audio selection option. Any problems? Then get in touch with our viewers hotline. Dyma Sgorio.
Mi wnaethoch chi orffen honna'n wych a chodi'r to.
Diolch. Y dechneg ydy'r peth pwysig.
Pêl droed gartref gyda Screwfix. Noddwyr pêl droed ar S4C.
Mewn a hi mae'n Dic i mewn. Bai yn edrych yn mynd i hun, ac yn ergydio, oddi ar y taws, ac mae fewn. A mae Bae Colwyn wedi dyblu yn mantais, munudau ar ôl sgorio'r gyntaf. Penniad allan Montig at John Routledge ar Elgin. Clark yn sgipio, heibio'r amddiffynwr. Clark ymlaen i fewn i'r cwrs, does o neb am i dacl o, a Clark yn gyrru'r bêl yn hyfryd i'r gornel isa.
Mae pêl droed yn gallu bod yn gêm ryfedd weithiau, achos heddi, bydd ni gêm rhwng un o glybiau hynna Cymru sydd wedi treulio'r degawdau diwetha'n chwarae'n Lloegr, yn erbyn clwbau cartre yn Lloegr sydd wedi treulio'r degawdau diwetha'n rheoli pêl droed Cymru, y Seintiau Newydd, y pencampwyr a deilied y cwpan yn mynd am y dwbl. Maen nhw'n cwrdd â Bae Colwyn. Dyma'r rownd gynderfynol, dyma'r gwestai Mark Lloyd Williams, croeso ato ni Mark. Y teitl swyddogol, y gwrs sydd wedi sgorio nifer fwy o goliad, hanes uwch ynglau Cymru, ond hefyd i chwarae i'r ddau glwb yma. Felly yw Bae Colwyn yn gallu cyrraedd y rownd derfynol, Mark?
Wel, mae'n nhw'n dalcan caled, wrth gwrs, dydy. Dwi'n meddwl bod nhw wedi cyrraedd un pencampwyr yn barod y tymor yma, pan oedd Ceicona yn dal y dlws, ond pencampwyr newydd, y Seintiau Newydd, yn her hollol wahanol prynhawn yma. Di mellan am yn taro dwywaith medden nhw'n ac di, felly mae'n dod yn her i Steve Evans a'i garfan.
Bae Colwyn erioed i fod yn y rownd derfynol. Mae hwnna'n dipyn o sioc o gofio i hanes nhw. Mae nhw'n bron mor hyn a'r cwpan i hunan. Pen y bont erioed i cyrraedd y rownd derfynol tan o Swener. Dyma beth ddigwyddodd ar goedlan y parc yn Aberystwyth. Marc, oedd hi'n ddisgwr, holl ffordd i gicio'r smotyn. Beli Bores yn dod ymlaen fel eilydd i gymryd y gic ac yn methu. A wedyn ni, Sean MacDonald yn sicrhau lle pen y bont yn y rownd derfynol. Beth am y cicio'r smotyn?
Ia, gwych gol pen y bont ar gwaith mae Rhys Griffiths a'i dîm di wneud. Mae yna dyrchafed uwch yn Cymru o rwan cyrraedd y rownd derfynol, ond dwi'n mynd deall rheolwyr yn dod â eilydd ymlaen ac eiliad o'r gêm weddill i gymryd cico'r smotyn. Toedd eich di reid bach o ffydd yn chwaraewyr sydd â cae. Mae nhw'n chwarae ar sofon uchel a dod yn ôl i ac gallu cymryd cico'r smotyn. Ie,
o'ch chi'n teimlo'r un edrych ymlaen, falle byddai'n dyngadfynol. Dyna ddigwyddodd, pen y bont trwodd. Pa'n o'r ddau dîm ma sy'n gallu ymuno gyda nhw yn y rownd derfynol. Dewch chi ni glywed gan y ddau reolwr. Gawn ni glywed gan reolwr y Seintiau Newydd, Anthony Limbrick yn y man. Ni'n ddechrau gyda reolwr Bae Colwyn, Steve Evans. Yn sôn gyntaf hefyd am y ffaith mae wedi bod yn wythnos anodd iawn i'r clwb yn dilyn marwolaeth sydyn. Gôl geidwad ifanc, 16 oed Elgin Jones, oedd yn rhan o Academy Bae Colwyn.
I speak for myself, everyone at Colwyn Bay and the community. I've spoke to a lot of people, and to sum Elgin up, he was polite, young man, respectful and fully committed to his football, which he loved. And another massive thing was he always had a smile on his face. He loved life. So today's a football game, but when you put it into perspective, especially if you've got kids and grandkids yourself, you can't imagine what Wyn and Beth and the family are going through. And I'd just like to give my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Elgin.
Absolutely, it's going to be an emotional afternoon for everyone involved. And Steve, your journey to this semi-final has been nothing short of remarkable. You've beaten two top-flight teams. Is there a sense that you guys have got nothing to lose this afternoon?
We haven't got nothing to lose. And like I just said about the qualities Elgin had, always a smile on his face, committed. And they're the qualities we've got to take into this game today.
Anthony, last weekend it was the weekend of celebrations for TNS, but it's back to business this afternoon.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's a massive game for us. We want to progress through to the final. We were really happy with what we did last week, and we celebrated, and rightly so. But mine's firmly focused on today, and it's going to be a really, really tough game.
I have to ask, will there be slightly different emotions this afternoon? Because with the league, it was a case of when, not if, you'd be crowned champions. But a cup is a completely different ball game. Anything can happen in those 90 minutes.
No, without a doubt. And I think when you come away to a different pitch, you're playing a different opposition who aren't necessarily in our league, who are the underdogs, who have done very, very well in previous rounds and already caused upsets. You've shown what they can do. So, yeah, we're not really thinking too much about the emotion of it. We want to get the job done today, but we know that it's going to be super difficult and could well be our toughest game of the season.
Dyna chi Anthony Limbrick. Sylwebaeth diddorol, Mark. Credu gallu hon fod un o'r gemau mwyaf anodd tymor yma. Pam mae fe'n meddwl hynny?
Wel, dyn ni'n derfar chwarae fel ein cefnogwyr yn y lle cyntaf nac di, so mae wedi gweld beth ddigwyddodd yng Nghona yn y rownd dwytha fo'r nifer o gefnogwyr. Mae Bae Colwyn yn dod gyda nhw, yn wedi'i prynhawn mae'n brawn braf, dydy brawn godidog yma ar y bel fyw. Ac di ar wyneb y cae, ddim yn weld y gorau chwaith, felly mynd am di rafu chwarae y Seintiau Newydd i lawr ac rhoi cyfle i chwaraewyr Bae Colwyn bach agosach iddyn nhw. Felly oedden nhw'n gorau cymryd cyffyrddiad neu fwy yn ychwanegol ac mynd am di chwarae efallai i ddwylo Bae Colwyn.
Ie, gen i weld mae'r agoriad yn mynd i fod mor ddiddorol. Maen nhw yma ar ôl rhediad gwych yn y cwpan. Un o'i chwaraewyr nhw gath ei enwi yn chwaraewr y rownd. Dyma Ryan Edwards, sgoriodd e gol gampus yn erbyn Cwpan yn y rownd diwetha. Dwy ddim, maen nhw wedi ennill yng Cwpan. Ydyn nhw'n gallu ennill yn y rhyl yn erbyn y Seintiau Newydd. Y pencampwyr, y deilied, maen nhw'n heidio mewn. Mae'n mor wych. Mae'n wych cael Bae Colwyn yn ôl ym Mheldroed Cymru, achos dyma y golygfeydd sy'n dilyn nhw. Mae'n mynd i fod yn dipyn o gêm. Mae'n fyw ar S4C pan nhw'n ôl wedi'r egwyl.
Perfformiad i oleo'r lle go iawn. Dyna sut I gadw pethau'n lan yn y cefn.
Croeso nôl ato ni. Mae wedi bod yn benwthnos o ganlyniadau annisgwyl o ran y chwaraeon ar S4C. Os un arall da ni fan hyn gwedwch rhwng gynderfynol Cwpan Cymru. Ni'n barod amdani. Mae yna Sylwebaeth Saesneg ar gael. Remember, we've got English language commentary. That's available as well on the red button. Mark Jones and Neil Gibson, Flint manager, waiting for you there. Yn i fyny i'r pwynt sylwebu fan hyn yn yr heilwen yn yr ffil. Mae Owain Tudur Jones a Nick Parry.
Good afternoon and welcome to Real Football Club for the semi-finals of the JD Welsh Cup. It's a David and Goliath of a semi-final at present, as Anthony Limbrick's TNS have already won the title and Stephen Evans' Colwyn Bay have hit a blip of form in the Cymru North. But it's cup football and Bay have already beaten Cardiff Met and Connors Quay on their cup run so far this season. Alongside me this afternoon, welcome to Neil Gibson, the Flint Town manager.
Welcome, Jonah. Thanks for having me on today.
Two teams are about to stand for a minute's silence. A minute's applause, sorry, for Elgin Jones, an academy player with Colwyn Bay from Anglesey, who we sadly lost in the past week. We're about to have a minute's applause, and we'll put the mics down because we all definitely want to be applauding for this wonderful lad. So it's Colwyn Bay against TNS in the semi-final of the JD Welsh Cup. Neil, a beautiful day at Rill, Bellevue.
Yeah, lovely day, and obviously condolences go out to Elgin's family, and such a devastating thing to happen, and you can see how much it means to Colwyn Bay, and I'm sure they want to put a good show on today on behalf of Elgin and his family.
Absolutely. They're the two lineups in front of us. TNS, any standout changes for the semi-final for you, Neil?
Well, I think you've got to look at Connor Roberts starting in goal. Hasn't played for a long period of time, but we know how good a performer Connor is, and I'm sure he'll come back in and put in a top-level performance. They'll be favourites today, obviously, going into today's game, and it looks like a very strong 11. Anthony's picked
4-3-3. Danny Redmond will most probably play the holder. Ben Clark and Leo Smith will play either side. There's the Colwyn Bay team. Anthony Coughlin in goals, who've been tremendous so far in this tremendous cup run they've had. Any stars there for you, Neil?
Yeah, Coughlin made a really good save in the quarter-final against Connors Quay, and Ryan Edwards, who obviously is a former TNS player, scored a great goal in that game as well, so he'll be a pivotal player for them today.
And there is Ryan Edwards, of course. He has been in a previous cup winning squad for TNS. Seen him in the car park on the way in, and he's keen to do well today. He was in fact a player of the round in the last round, and there is Connor Roberts back in the first team, and I'm pleased to see it.
Yeah, I think when you come back to play against your old team, you always want to do well, and obviously it's a fantastic occasion, so Ryan will be really up for this, as he was in the quarter-final against Connors Quay, another former club.
And there is one of the most experienced referees in the league, and one of the best. He's been tremendous. I hope there's no curse put on him there, but Dean John, you have the same thoughts, Dean? We were talking about him.
Yeah, Dean's an excellent referee. He's officiated at this level for a long period of time now, and a cup semi-final is something that needs an excellent referee, and some of the vast experience of Dean.
It's Colwyn Bay against TNS in the semi-final of the JD Welsh Cup. The lineups are TNS, Connor Roberts in goals, Danny Davis right back, Ryan Astles and Keston Davis, Chris Marriott at left back. Leo Smith, Danny Redmond and Ben Clark in midfield. Ryan Brobble, Declan McManus and the pacey Jordan Williams up top. It's Colwyn Bay, Andy Coughlin, Joe Williams, Christian Platt, Jordan Carrington and Steph Edwards are back four. Ryan Edwards, Kai Owen and Tom McCready. And the front three will be Sam Jones, Craig Lindley and James Kirby. 19-goal James Kirby. Do you know much about Kirby?
Yeah, I've watched him in the quarter-final. He used to be at Nantwich, and he's a real handful. He's a throwback of a centre-forward from years gone by. He looks like he can cause problems.
Jordan Williams has gone the side off. Steph Edwards, all the experience in the world. That'll be a good speed battle. But Williams is cut inside, gets it across early. Ex-man, Neil, you've actually lifted the Welsh Cup with Prestatyn. Key moments now, early doors.
Yeah, it's obviously Colwyn Bay are trying to feel themselves into the game. The first thing they want to try and do is get to that 10-15 minute spell and everything be level. But Jordan Williams in the area he's got into there is an area he looks to exploit in that right hand channel, putting in on his left foot.
There'll be plenty of pressure put on the goalkeeper Coughlin earlier. Marriott to take the corner. Back at Rill, well, I'm sure he's been shouted at a few times in his career.
He wouldn't be the only one, would he, to be shouted at here?
Fantastic days at Bellevue. Ball across Marriott, great corner, back post. Key first couple of minutes. Didn't back in from Redmond. Headed away, early pressure, goalkeeper stays, chance, big chance. Declan McManus puts his header over.
Yeah,
I think it's half a chance, Neil.
Yeah, I think it is. You know, TNS for all their free-flowing football, they're a real threat and a real danger at set pieces. You have to be very much aware of them, and you know, it looks a bit of nervousness there at the start for Colwyn Bay, and you know, it's a good chance for Declan McManus. You expect them to score them.
On a bit of a drought at the moment, Declan, top scorer in the league with 27 goals, but he's gone 4 games without getting a goal, and you know what it's like when you're a centre forward, you want to be scoring every week. Astles heads it forward. McManus, Williams against Steph Edwards is going to be a key battle again. Williams tries to get the shot off, straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think it's that channel again that I mentioned previously. You know, it's 2 or 3 occasions already in the first 3 minutes that Jordan Williams will try and get into that right-hand channel and cut inside onto his left foot and get shots away. He scored 2 goals similar against Flint already this season, so I know all about that.
Yeah, one was a beauty into the top corner. Again, it's Williams. Edwards hooks it forward. Astles heads it down.
I think that's what Colwyn Bay have got to try and do, is get a bit of territory, turn it in behind TNS a couple of times and get themselves at the pitch to get a foothold in the game.
Obviously a massive club with tremendous history. Colwyn Bay surprisingly never lifted the Welsh Cup. Ryan Edwards there playing a 1-2 with Dean John.
Yeah, I think this is what Colwyn Bay need really, is a couple of minutes where the game just settles itself down. It looks like it's a little bit hectic at the moment for them. They look a little bit nervous.
Coughlin launches it forward. The sun will be directly in Coughlin's eyes in the first period. Leo Smith playing on the left-hand side of the midfield for TNS this afternoon. Keston Davis had a tough week last week when Nathan Wood had a few challenging runs, shall I say, against him and scored a beauty of a goal.
Yeah, just looking at the formation now, Mark, and it looks like that Colwyn Bay might be trying to operate with 3 centre-halves, and Steph Edwards tucked in as the left centre-half with Joe Williams as a right wing-back. Potentially looks like it could be happening, and trying to get into that sort of shape.
Yeah, perhaps they don't want to leave Williams one-on-one with Steph Edwards, as they have looked like they go for a 3 in front of us. The TNS are playing at 4 with a diamond, with McManus and Williams staying up the top. Already league title winners. There is Stephen Evans. Don't forget, ex-Welsh international.
Steve will know obviously all about TNS and their threats. He's been at the games recently and knows them really well, and I think that going to 3 at the back is probably a good thing for them to do against the front 2 with McManus and Williams.
That's the ball into the space again. 3 times they've gone down this side for Williams. Doubled up this time. Clark gets a shot off. It's a good block. Clark will stand it up again. No. Danny Davis gets forward. Steph Edwards leaves one in on Davis. May be lucky to get away with a yellow there, although he's not the type of referee who brandishes early yellows.
Yeah, you'd hope at this early stage that maybe, you know, Dean's experience will help Steph out there, and you can see him talking to Steph. Probably in the other part of the game could have been a yellow card, but at this early moment you don't want to see people getting booked. I think if I was on the side...
Happy days for Steph Edwards there.
If I was on the side, I might be asking for a yellow card there.
No, I'm sure you would have asked for a red, Gibbo. By the way, if you're listening, Gibbo was one of the nicest blokes, but one of the most competitive managers you could ever manage against. Ever.
We've had a few battles, haven't
Brian
we?
Clough. Marriott stands it into the post, headed away. Great header away, by the way. He's headed that 30 yards. Didn't quite pick up who it was.
I think we're going to have to do that, as though it's coming back in as a second phase, and Astles is dangerous.
Astles. Well, this is... we spoke about this, I think, last week. It's a little bit different this year. Obviously, you as a present manager, they're not... Everything doesn't have to be perfect football this year with TNS. They're putting it in a lot of a chance. Headed, it's a goal. Oh, Colwyn, brilliant save. Punches it clear. Almost thought it was crossing the line then.
It's a great save as well from Coughlin, but again, every time the ball goes forward, it looks nervous for Colwyn Bay, trying to defend that against the diagonal ball and then even balls into the channel at the moment. They look like they need to get a foothold in the game, or even take some time out of the game at some point.
Yeah, I remember the quarter-finals when they played Cardiff Met, and Cardiff Met absolutely run them off the park the first 20 minutes or so, but they dug in, which you have to as the underdog.
Yeah.
Keep your shape, keep battling on, and keep that goal area clear.
Yeah, and that's what they need to do more there, picking up the ball, and there's Kirby on the run. If they turn the ball over and they're able to go and counter against it, is what they'll be looking to do. You need to try and get a little bit more pressure on the ball higher up the pitch at the moment. It's not quite happening for them. It's very difficult to do, obviously, against TNS, who move the ball so well.
Danny Davis, stand over from Williams. Davis, it's a warm day out there as well. Has to be the warmest day of the year so far. Marriott, such a dependable character, Marriott at left back. Clark has been a revelation. Won't be far off TNS's player of the year.
No, he's had a really good season, Ben Clark, and I think he surprised a few. Declan McManus, when he drops into that area, is dangerous as well. Davis
has been amongst the goals of late as well.
Yeah,
he snuck one against you on the far post.
Yeah, he did, and here's where Colwyn Bay can be a real threat on the counter-attack with Sam Jones's pace.
Yeah, Sam Jones had a wonderful start to his career at Bangor. He has plenty of pace, and I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's probably not gone on to fulfil what we thought of him, but I think there's still plenty of time for him to come back here.
Well, your changing room talk is, when you're the underdog, don't give that early goal away. They came close. Great save from the goalkeeper, Coughlin, but they're still at 0-0.
I'm starting to look at the shape, Jonah, and it looks like it might be a back three with wing backs and maybe a box in midfield with McCready sitting, and then Kyone and Sam Jones off, Kirby up front.
Yeah. Almost the old-fashioned world, when they changed them 5-4-1.
Yeah.
And which means Kirby got to work a hell of a lot, and it's just releasing the other fullback as they spread in play.
Colwyn Bay knew today that they're going to have to spend a lot of time out of possession, and it's important they keep working hard to try and fill those gaps as soon as possible, because once they start moving you side to side, you're in trouble.
We were lucky enough, Neil, the two of us, to speak to Stephen Evans at the start, and even the old master of this league centre-back and all the league titles, there was definitely nerves there.
Yeah, there was, and obviously it's a big occasion, you know, coming back to his old team, you know, in the semi-final of the Cup with a new club and starting out his career in management on his own. Big opportunity for Steve today to get, you know, a fantastic achievement if he could get Colwyn Bay into the final.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I tell you one thing, he's been working hard enough, because he's popping up at every ground, which is not a bad thing.
No, it's something you've got to do as a manager now. You've got to do your homework on other teams. Everyone's doing it. I think this will help now if Colwyn Bay can string a few passes together when they turn the possession over.
That's not a bad ball, by the way, from Joe Williams. If you can just put one in behind Astles and Keston Davis, they're not sprint merchants, and that could be the out ball for me. Just put it in behind the two fullbacks, get up the field. Here is the Cwpan save. It's headed down Astles with the first header.
Yeah, and that's just come off his own man, and obviously parried it away from
done well.
He's done really
done well, the big man. Kept in play there by Jordan Williams.
think when you look at the Colwyn Bay back three that they've gone to now, it probably suits their shape better really with Platt in the middle and Carrington and Edwards either side of him. Probably suits them better with the aerial threat.
Yeah, because the last man could get off the flick.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe Williams done well for Caernarfon, and Caernarfon with a good win in midweek.
Yeah, let's not
unfortunately, I forgot who my guest was then. I'm not winding you up there, Gibbo, because you've had a brilliant season so far. Excellent, top 6 in your second season back in.
Yeah, it's gone well for us so far, but it's tough in the top 6 now. I think moments like this for Colwyn Bay are important. Little free kicks around the halfway line takes 30-40 seconds out of the game. They can set it up and move themselves into the opposition's half, and you already look at the possession there. Stats 65% for TNS is how we'd expect it to be probably.
I think he'd settle for at the end 65-35. And as long as the scoreline stays at 0-0, he would definitely settle for it.
Definitely.
Question being asked this time with Danny Davis. Ed Davis heads it away. Ryan Edwards. When Ryan Edwards came on the scene 6 or 7 years ago, I thought he was going to be a real main player in this league.
Yeah,
he had the lot. Still doing well, playing Welsh Premier.
Yeah, he's still doing well. I think he's been hampered a little bit with injuries, and he's not quite had a run of games at some clubs that he's been at. But I still think there's time for him to come again because he has all the qualities. I think it started to settle itself down now in the last couple of minutes, and this is important for Colwyn Bay. If they can reach that 15-minute mark at 0-0, it's probably something they'd have taken first off. And
the Colwyn Bay faithful behind the goals, plenty of them. Hoofed forward by Astles. Headed back in. Lindley, Edwards is starting to get a bit key in the holding role, because I don't think Brobble will push on to him.
Yeah,
Astles heads away.
I think with having McCready and Edwards at either side of Brobble, it'll probably give them time to pick up that second ball and find the spare man, and that's where they've started to come back into the game a little bit more now.
Yeah, because Ryan Brobble, the best obviously with the ball at his feet, are one of the best in this league, but whether he'll you wouldn't put him down as a man marker, would you?
No, not at all. He's looking to affect the game when you turn possession back over for TNS, but he's probably not going to want to spend too much time chasing McCready and Edwards around on the ball.
Just a quick one, Neil, on the surface is okay. The groundsman's done really well. What would you say is the main difference of playing on the 3Gs and the grass? Is it a big difference?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you look at the pass there from Astles to Davis, and it bobbled a couple of times in. The pitch is great effort from the real staff to get the pitch how it is, but it does give it a little bit more extra time to go and put pressure on the ball and stops TNS being able to move it quite fluently.
And Flint Town looking to get their 3G surface down this summer, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's what the club are trying to do. We're trying to progress it forward as much as we can, and that'll help for many different types of things, and especially financial.
Community sets a community up as a football club, Neil. There's no doubt about it. You can have your under-10s on at 9 o'clock in the morning and your first team on at 9 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, it becomes the hub then of the community, as you rightly say, and everyone feels like they're attached to the first team rather than it being separated academy and first team, which is something that clubs need to do in Wales, I think.
Kai Owen gets a header back to Joe Williams. McCready again, ex-Everton, ex-Hibernian, plenty of experience. Sam Jones will, if he can just find a gap of space in there, Sam Jones up against the two centre-backs, he has plenty of gas. Steph Edwards just gets tight enough to Williams.
I think we've already looked at how it's going to settle turn over possession.
Chance, Brobble, the bobble from Brobble. Would have been a great line, but it's a turn round by Coughlin.
I think what's happened here is it's gone under Ryan Edwards' foot, and Clark's pinched it, and Brobble's dangerous from 25-30 yards. Obviously Coughlin's done well to get across there and push it out for a corner, but 25-30 yards out, Ryan Brobble can score, and he does often.
Yeah, and he hasn't really caught that properly. He hasn't got much aerial on the ball.
I agree, it wasn't one of his better strikes, but it's still a good save from
But they're boxing the goalkeeper in. Williams and McManus boxing the goalkeeper. They usually try to free up that man, Astles. In it goes. It's in the back of the net, it's straight in. It looks like it's a direct one. Danny Davis again. He's getting goals every week with his head. It's a soft goal for Colwyn Bay to give away. but the league title holders are 1-0 ahead after 15. Getting goals every week with his head. It's a soft goal for Colwyn Bay to give away, but the league title holders are 1-0 ahead after 15 minutes, and it looks like a Danny Davis header.
Yeah.
TNS 1, Colwyn Bay 0.
Yeah, I think it comes in all the way round to the back post. Danny Davis is a threat there, and I think he's just scored from a yard out. It's come off his head or his shoulder, has it? Or it's off the post.
Off the post.
Off the post.
It's almost like the one he scored against you, Neil.
Yeah, it's very similar, and he's a threat at that. And I know, Steve at Colwyn Bay would have been very much aware of that. But that really settles TNS down. You could see Anthony Limbrick was really pleased with that, because they would have wanted an early goal. I think it's come back off the post onto Danny and then gone into the net. So he'll take them however they can.
Goalkeeper disappointed he didn't get anything on that.
Yeah, I think he's got caught underneath the ball, hasn't he? And it's ended up with no one's picked Danny up around the back post, and you can't do that against TNS hard enough at the best of times.
When you're looking to create giant killing acts, you have to have a bit of luck, and if anything, luck went against them then off the post. But Danny Davis, I think that's 4-headed goals Danny Davis has got in the last 5 or 6 games, and when you're a defender and you start adding them up, doesn't half add to your credibility as a footballer.
Yeah, definitely. People will see him for the the athlete that he is, and he gets up and down. He's a real threat attacking wise, but he's 6 foot 1. He attacks the ball well, and he's a threat in the opposition box, and someone you can't take lightly when you're looking at the Kirsten Davis and Astles around him. Probably.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Coughlin goes with that, just misses it, don't get nothing on it. In fact, it hits the post. Obviously there's nobody on the far post to head it away. Off it comes, Davis gets the header, and the Oswestry Giants are 1-0 ahead in the Welsh Cup.
Yeah, and you can see it's worked on Chris Orden. I know does a lot of the set pieces there, and you can see that how pleased he and Anthony Limbrick were with that early goal. And Coughlin possibly would be a little bit disappointed he got caught under the flight of it, but and would want more purchase on it to get away from Danny. But Danny Davis has been fantastic this season, and I think he won the league last season with Connorski, and then in his season here he's won it with TNS. So.
Yeah, but he's the type of player, I don't think he would come on, or McManus just stayed onside. McManus tries to go round Coughlin, goes round him. He's a centre forward. He's a greedy centre forward. He was never going to pass that.
No, I think that once TNS get time on the ball in midfield, the runs of McManus and Williams in that left-hand channel again is going to be a threat. I think probably Coughlin's done enough there just to send him a little bit wider, and he's made him just done enough to send him wide, which has allowed players to get back on the line, and Carrington there is trying to stop it from going in. And
Clark again, a great ball from Clark, Ben Clark. He rounds Coughlin.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I think that might have fired into the back of the net, but when you get them runs, you get them runs.
Oh, I think didn't you call him the Harry Kane of the Welsh Premier League?
Just before he had a bad game against you.
Yeah. So yeah, but it'll come again, because he's an excellent player and he's done well this season. Strikers get on runs, don't they? And he'll come again, no doubt.
Redmond hooks it back inside.
It's an important 5 minutes for Colwyn Bay now. They've got people like McCready who can take a touch of the ball.
Yeah, it drives forward. It's a great ball from McCready. Williams, does he put in early? Asks a question of Conor Roberts. Roberts stays, headed away. Keston Davis. McCready. Ball out of play, but that's a fine response there from Colwyn Bay.
I think if Tom McCready's good on the ball, he's good in possession, so is Ryan Edwards. And here's the goal again. Yeah, I think Coughlin's just
off the post onto his hand, but that producer behind us is saying any handball. May have been
a handball. Yeah, we didn't see that in the first couple of looks.
As it's your debut, Gibbo, we won't make you the VAR like we usually make Tommy Morgan and get all the blame at half-time off the fans.
Well, I'm going to have to...
Are you giving the goal?
Yeah, I think I don't think you can give the goal if it's come off the arm, and I think looking at it again there, I'm not sure that should have been given, but it's hard for the linesman to see that on his blind side.
Yeah, absolutely. Platt take the free kick. McCready again will settle on the ball all the time. Centre forward trying to drag Kirby.
So this is where McCready, Edwards, Jones, they're all comfortable in possession of the ball, and if they can get on it, they can start to get a foothold in the game again, because it's important now that they try and take the game back to TNS at 1-0 down and don't,
just don't back off all. Yeah. You looking at this then now, Neil, obviously if this was you and Flint, TNS in the semi-final of a Welsh Cup, you'd take 1-0 half-time.
Yeah, you probably would. You stay in the game, and I think we scored in the the 93rd minute, an equaliser against them in the league this season. And if you're 1-0 against TNS with a couple of minutes to go, you're definitely in the game.
You're in the game,
yeah,
definitely.
100%.
Redmond, of course, there's a couple of bigger English FA Cup games today. None quite as big as this TNS and Colwyn Bay, though, I don't think.
No, it's a prestigious cup, isn't it?
Oh, great ball to Davis.
And that's something that Linfield's going to have to be aware of there, because Danny Davis will run in behind you, and if there's time on the ball, he will.
On Thursday, there's a small encounter down in Cardiff. It's Wales versus Austria in the World Cup playoff. Good luck, Robert Page and all the lads.
Yeah, we'd love to see the lads get a result there, wouldn't it?
What a massive game for Welsh football. He's done tremendously well to get us as far as he has. We're right behind you. We're right behind you.
Absolutely.
And we're still not going to mention the egg chasing from yesterday.
No, Lee said the better about that, I think. No. See, this is an opportunity now where the TNS are moving the ball across the back, whereas Colwyn Bay can get into the shape, and I think the difficulty is tracking runners when there's no pressure on the ball there. Redmond's capable of, and Marriott, they're all capable of taking a touch and putting it in behind you, so it's checking the runners.
Yeah, they just dropped off a bit further. I think everyone wants handball, he gets handball. McManus,
I think he might have wanted the handball slightly earlier, mightn't he?
Definitely. I'm sure he will at half-time.
Yeah.
He'll have a quiet word.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think he'll be too disappointed at how it's gone so far, even though they're 1-0 down, because they look fairly competitive and they've looked after the ball, well.
Yeah,
times.
Definitely. But he's had a difficult last couple of weeks. He made a great start. He had 6 games without defeat when he went there, and then unfortunately they've had a blip the last couple of weeks, 3-3-0s. But listen, already they've played some decent football.
Yeah,
and they're doing well.
Yeah, they are. They're competing, and it's important they're picking at the second balls. Joe Williams, obviously former Carnarvon, good player in this league. They need players like him now with the experience to try and drag the team back into it. But going back to Colwyn Bay, I think Lewis Cyril, who's not playing today, who was excellent in the.
He had a great game.
Yeah, in the quarter final.
Yes, he did.
I think
excellent
he's a real miss for them at the moment. Good player.
Fourteenth time TNS won the title for, an amazing stat. We did say Mike Harris still chasing that TNS getting into the qualifying stages of Europe, and it's been a long road, but he seems determined.
Yeah, fair play, because Andy Morrison and Conor Ski put the gauntlet down to them, for 2 years on the run, and he's come back again hard with the extra finance that they put into it, and signing players like Declan McManus, who's had a fantastic season, and it set the tone really.
Absolutely. The other semi-final, Neil, were you surprised that Penabont defeated Bala, or was it a 50-50 for you?
I think given where they both are in the league currently, it's so tight in and around those sort of areas. I thought it could have gone either way, and probably penalties. Didn't surprise me in the end. A tight, close encounter with so much to play for. But congratulations to Reece and his staff there for getting them into the Welsh Cup final.
Ben Clark there, just giving the foul away.
Yeah, I'm not sure, how much is in that. You want to see those sort of tackles and things going on in a Welsh Cup semi-final.
I think they're a thing of the past, Neil. Platt stands it up. First header important. Davis' favourite there. Yeah. There's no aerial threat.
No.
McManus, I don't think he'll run in behind him. Steph Evershott's great ball. Williams, does the keeper come and get it? Keeper, great stuff from the goalkeeper. Off his line, quick, the big man. Come and collect it. Because Williams is the release clause. Yeah. He's the sprinter.
I think McManus got time on the ball, and Williams is always going to run in behind too. Got attracted to the ball, and Cochran sort of came and then stopped and then came again. He made the right decision in the end.
It's interesting to see he swap sides. Since they went to 5 at the back, he was started on the right wing, Jordan Williams. He's gone back over as a central striker now alongside McManus.
Yeah, he'll look to exploit the channels where if they get time on the ball, sometimes he'll go down the right, sometimes the left. He favours the right because obviously he cuts inside and he's strong on his left foot.
Williams Kai Owen doing well in midfield. He's getting on the ball a hell of a lot.
Yeah, Kai Owen's neat and tidy on the ball. He's got good energy generally.
It's a headed clash. That's one of those unfortunate ones. I could see what Williams is saying. There's no intent. He just actually, his head just catches the face of Platt, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They just happen in the game.
Yeah, they do. You know, both players are honestly competing for the ball, and obviously, you know, the free kick's generally going to go in favour of the defender in that instance. I think if they're going to go long here,
they've got to send the centre half up.
Yeah, they've got, you know, a couple of times now they've gone more direct from free kicks, but they've had no pressure on the ball, and Astles and Davis have been able to, you know, head it away comfortably.
Yeah, I think Carrington has made the strides up now. In it goes centrally. Connor Roberts comes and collects. He'll deal with them all day, and the big kick is on.
Yeah, I think Connor Roberts, obviously, you know, he hasn't had much to do in, you know, being back into the starting 11 here, but took that comfortably, as you'd expect from a player of his calibre.
But as we had the question I posed you about 10 minutes ago, it's a big 10 to 15 minutes now in Evans. There's Danny Gossett.
Obviously, I think this will be an important game for a lot of players in the Welsh Premier League. We'll be having a little look at this, and you know, Welsh Cup semi-finals, a prestigious game, and everyone wants to come and see it. So it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's a picture of health there, Danny, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, wonderful to see him back playing again, even if he did score the winner against us on Tuesday night.
We didn't bring him in shot on purpose there. No, I think you're getting stitched up here, Neil, this afternoon. Wants the foul there. That's a bit of a duel starting to develop between Williams and Platt. That's twice they've and there you are. Health and safety, is that what them two were called?
Don't know about that.
Astles. Redmond's enjoying just dropping off. He's enjoying having that freedom in the holding role. It's not often he gets afforded that. Say a couple of weeks ago when they played Penabont, the young lad Clutton followed him everywhere and he wasn't on the ball.
No.
So today, when you play in that holding role for TNS and nobody actually comes in your space, you'll be a happy man today.
Yeah, definitely, and he's got the quality to affect that. You know, I think obviously we've moved it on to Clark there, and because Colwyn Bay were a little bit deeper, that space wasn't in behind. It's probably a safer option for Colwyn Bay, but it's the, you know, with Colwyn Bay sort of playing a bit of a box in midfield and TNS playing the diamond, it's, you know, it's who's going to come out on top in that battle, really.
Astles sends Kyone the wrong way. It's a great header forward from Carrington. Marriott, Smith, Astles with a turnaround.
See, that's always a threat with McManus and Williams, because they're big, strong, and they can run in behind you. So it's really difficult to defend against that front two.
Yeah, well, so mentally you're wondering whether to push up or wonder whether to do the low block, as they call it now. So
that's it.
Well, that's good from Limerick. They got two strings to his bow now.
Definitely, you know, they ask more questions of you with the two centre forwards that they've got on show. And
physically, they're a bit more physical than they used to be as well.
Definitely, I think you've got to be in this league. You know, I don't think you can play in this league now really without a bit of physicality.
Davis headed away. McCready. Owen. Chance here. Head is not a great one. Chance. Robert sweeps up well. That's a key moment there, because he is 40 yards from his line there, by the way. That is a key moment. Kirby was right on towards the end of that ball.
Definitely, and I think, you know, great starting position from Connor Roberts, but, you know, his fine detail, if Kirby gets there first, it could be a red card and, you know, and a free kick to Colwyn Bay, so it's fine moments. But I think that's definitely Colwyn Bay's out, winning the ball, securing two passes and looking to exploit in behind with Kirby or a different runner from midfield, maybe Jones.
There is Roberts. It was Kyone with the ball.
Yeah.
Went over the top of Keston Davis. He was almost favourite here, Kirby. Just gets it.
Yeah, I think it's good goalkeeping, isn't it? It's a great starting position from Connor Roberts.
Redmond gets it forward. Haven't dominated things, Neil.
No.
They haven't. The champions, and by the way, we will be calling them the 30-point champions. They've been that dominant.
I think if you look at at the way the game's set up so far. You know, Colwyn Bay look like they're trying to put pressure on him in midfield. Every time Redmond gets the ball, he's got a little bit of time on it, but they're in a good shape and they want to try and force it into certain areas where they can press it back. And containing TNS as they have for 30 minutes now is you know, at 1-0 and only from a set piece. That'll be the disappointing thing for Steve, I think.
Danny Davis was with you at Prestatyn, and I think he's a bit of a cricketing expert as well.
Yeah, I know Danny really well. His brother Chris Davis played for me as well at Prestatyn. I think gave Danny his debut at 16 in the Welsh Premier League, and you know, very, very good cricketer as well, and you know, one of those people.
Talented lad.
Yeah, good at a lot of things, and I think he'll do well in the Wales C squad that you've picked as well, Mark.
Hope so. Would you try and stop Astl's run here, Neil, if you were playing against him? Would you try and get a blocker on him?
I think you've got to. They've got so many attacking threats here. If they get a free run on you, it's really, really difficult.
Marriott, in it goes. Free-headed again, over the bar this time though.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible with the size of Danny Davis, Keston Davis, Ryan Astles, McManus, Williams, you know, if the quality's right, which it often is. So on that one, Astles takes him in front post and probably takes a runner with him, and then Keston Davis comes in around the back. Could he done better with that? Or was it just
so it's there, isn't it? It's there to be headed down. There's a
good opportunity.
Coughlin started well with 2 decent saves. May be disappointed a little bit with the goal, but I'm sure he'll have plenty more opportunities to prove himself this afternoon. Brobble's been quiet so far this afternoon.
Yeah.
I always prefer Brobble wide left rather than a 10 where he's playing today.
I think sometimes when you know they've got Colwyn Bay, have got Edwards and McCready around him, it's hard for him to find the space to get onto. Whereas in a wide area, he's more 1v1 against the fullback.
Keston Davis, just coming back from injury, had a long-term knee injury, so it's great to see him back. Marriott inside. Chance on the edge from Brobble. Ryan Edwards does well. Lindy just dropping in. Kai Owen just guides his header.
I think that's important when they turn the ball over there, Colwyn Bay. If they can keep it for 3 or 4 passes, then they can start to exploit the counter-attack, but got to keep it probably 2-3 passes there at least before they can move it forward.
Just watching it in front of us now with Keston Davis and Astles at the back, Limerick is clever enough to know that they're not rapid, so he never pushes them right onto the halfway line. Even when they've got as much ball as they've got this afternoon, you can't really see it in camera now, they're still 30 yards into their own half.
Yeah, I think obviously because they've got the ball a lot, they can. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think 30 yards back, it allows them to recycle the ball and recycle the play.
Great touch from Jones. Owen to Williams. Marriott. Owen gets the ball, great tackle. Limbrick wants a foul.
And that's what you want to see. You know, I think Colwyn Bay have got to make it a little bit like that. They've got to start making some tackles, start getting closer to people and turn it into a real cup tie. But going back to your point about the 2 centre-halves dropping off, it allows then the midfielders to recover for them, you know, to try and recover the counter-attack without giving themselves away like they did with the Kirby half chance.
Colwyn Bay, one of the better supported clubs in Welsh domestic football. Isn't they're averaging around 700 at home, which is fantastic, and I'm sure if they did get into the Welsh Premier, that may double.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, you know, they've been a real good asset to being back in the Welsh pyramid, and you know, if they have some success like they've had in the Welsh Cup so far, if they can get into the Welsh Premier League, you know, they'll definitely bring 1,000 like Carnarvon used to.
Conversations, I suppose they're there to be had, Neil, and it's nice to get people's views sometimes. The likes, you know, of Mawrth, if they came up and decided to come back into our system, I think it'd encourage bigger crowds and maybe better competition.
Yeah, you know, I think that the product of the Welsh Premier League now is really strong, but
chance here, sorry to cut over you, Brobble just starting to settle a bit more now, but his pass.
Yeah, no, I was just saying in regards to that, I think, you know, the product's really good in the Welsh Premier League now, but we probably need some more supporters, and you know, 16-team league has been muted.
There it is. S4C next Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Joe Jock and the Scottish Jinx. A documentary telling the story of 2 highly contentious football matches between Wales and Scotland in 77 and 85, when Scotland succeeded both times in extremely controversial circumstances. And unfortunately, I'm old enough to have been at both of them.
really. Just on that then, you know, Colwyn Bay got in behind there and Kirby looked like he was going to be a threat, but it was difficult for Colwyn Bay to get support in and around him, and by the time Astles had stood him up, you know, like the point we made before, TNS's midfield had come back. Matthew Jones, the old former Conway manager there in the crowd behind.
Great to see different faces at Bellevue this afternoon. Jones Davis gets in first. Edwards spreads the play well. Great feet, Ryan Edwards. Lindley, can he take on Ben Clark? Just stops it up. Clark does well in slowing the move. Edwards, Ryan Edwards. Goes wide again.
I think just there when Craig Linfield had an opportunity to get at him 1v1.
He's got to go in.
Yeah, I think he's got to get at him or put a cross into the box. Maybe be a little bit more positive, but he's been working really hard the other direction against Danny Davis. So
Platt with a worldie of a ball, just miscued it by about 6 or 7 inches. But there is won't be far away from team of the season.
Ben Clark, yeah, he's had
tremendous
an excellent season. Excellent. Really come into his own this season, I think.
Astles, goal kick, TNS, Stephen Evans. May, obviously, Limbrick will be happier of the managers with a 1-0 lead, but as I said after the goal, if you could get to half-time now, get them in, keep going, lads, the dream's still alive.
Definitely, you know, there's nothing, you know, you can't, you know, you don't want to lose the game in the first half, and at 1-0 you're certainly definitely in it. So I think by and large Steve would be really pleased with how his players have done so far.
I have to agree, Neil. 1881 Colwyn Bay, that's what you call an established football club. Platt gets the header again in that holding role. Redmond gets it wide to Marriott.
It's amazing how many times Danny Redmond picks up those second balls in there and then just lends it back for TNS, and then they've got you back where they want you again. Fantastic player.
You old enough to remember his father playing for Manchester City?
No, I think you'll have to tell me about that one.
Smith, Davis, Keston Davis, Danny Davis, Clark again, gets it out of his feet, drives forward. Everything positive when Clark gets on the ball.
Great feat by Ben Clark there to get out of a tough situation.
Surprised how quick he was as well. I've seen him a few times this season. Redmond, will he get the shot off? Redmond clips it in, header forward from Jordan Williams.
I think those are the positions where Redmond's really dangerous. If he backs play up 35 yards out from goal, he's got such a lovely left foot, and the height that TNS have in the box on Williams and McManus. Probably Colwyn Bay did well there to keep him 12-15 yards out from goal. It's hard to score a header from there.
A decent attendance this afternoon of 871 for the Welsh Cup semi-final. Yeah. Which either team get to the final today, I think it'll be a great final against Penabont with their attacking way of play. Oh, Astles from the back, stays up. Jones, he has to get the free kick. Well refereed that.
Yeah, I think he'll be lucky there, Ryan Astles, if he gets away with the yellow card there. Look.
Yeah, he comes in with his knee into the back. Jones could have stood his ground there and gone right over and bought him a yellow there, no doubt, with a bit more experience.
Yeah, I think it's definitely knee in the back, and I think you're absolutely spot on. I think if he goes down and makes more of it, I think sure Steve's telling Petchy there as fourth official, sure he's saying the same thing as we're thinking of here.
McCready, this time Platt and Callington have gone up into the edge of the area. McCready straight in, first header.
Callington's keeping it alive.
Bobbing around everywhere in that box. It's a good period of play. 38 minutes on the clock. That first corner, I think, for Colwyn Bay.
They've worked that really well, because McCready's looked as if he's going to go to the far end where all the numbers are, and he's reversed one for Callington to keep alive. And these sort of half chances are something Colwyn Bay have got to try and exploit. So it's a mismatch there with Callington, really, and that drops you to the side.
You see that more often in football now. Then wide free kicks to the better headers of the ball.
Yeah,
not in the mix.
Definitely.
Corner, first corner. McCready will take the corner. If you're looking to bend this into Conor Roberts' area, very heavy, going to the back post. Williams stands it back in. Headed in, just over the bar. It was a great header. It was Christian Platt. Just had too much on it.
I'm just looking at that there and wondering whether that's worked, where they tried to work a deep one to Ryan Edwards and then they work a second phase, and it's a great floated ball in from Ryan Edwards, and yeah, it's a good leap from Christian Platt, and I think he might be a little bit disappointed with that.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a good header of a ball, and it was a great ball. There's enough pace on it.
Yeah.
Gets the header away, maybe just put off. There's Evans. Oh, I would have scored that when he's going to say at half-time, but
he'll definitely would have
they're
scored
in
that.
The game. 40 minutes on the clock. Christian Platt.
And I think that's when you play against TNS, you know you're not going to have an abundance of chances, but you know that when you get your half chances, you probably need to take them. And you know, TNS have won the look from a set piece, and Colwyn Bay have had a chance from a set piece there. That's the fine details in these big fixtures.
Connor Roberts. He's been with the club a long time.
Excellent goalkeeper. You know what a number 2 to have. He'd getting most of the club's starting 11.
Steph Edwards. I think Steph Edwards has to take a bit of credit, because Jordan Williams really fancied him on that side in the first period. He tracked him, he done well, and as you say, it's going across now, Williams. And to be fair, McManus and Williams, there should you say it when you're commentating on TNS, have had a quiet period.
Yeah, I think, credit to Steve, the way that he set the team up with the 3 at the back, the way they've gone, and I think it's allowed the spare man to be able to go and compete and handle the 2 a little bit better or a little bit easier, but you know that you can't switch off because one moment of quality and they're in behind you. So it's a really good shape that they've got themselves into at the moment.
Well, you could tell they're well drilled.
Yeah,
Neil, they're just dropping in, and there's 2 ways of playing now, obviously. Like to help the viewers, there's the press, where everybody usually comes on to the defenders, and this is what they would call the dropping off, the low block, where they just drop in a 5. You can almost see it in front of us now, that 5-4-1 in front of us.
Exactly, and I think you can't go chasing it on a big pitch against TNS, because they will pick you off with the quality, and this allows you to limit their opportunities.
Williams keeps that in play. Tracks back. The clearance is not the greatest, but it goes out to play off Chris Marriott. And with 42 minutes on the clock, it's TNS 1, Colwyn Bay 0 in the semi-final of the JD Welsh Cup.
Yeah, I think again, Joe's experience there, Joe Williams, he's taking his time. He knows that 3 minutes to half time now, what they want to do is manage the game to make sure they're going in 1-0 down at the very worst.
Colwyn Bay have never faced TNS in a competitive game before. They faced Oswestry Town 3 times in the Welsh Cup, and Oswestry Town are obviously, TNS emerged from Oswestry.
It's amazing to think what TNS have done over that period of time, and the games that they've won and the titles that they've won over that period of time. It really is the benchmark, isn't it?
They are the benchmark. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Jones just spins his marker. I think he's a little bit unlucky, Sam Jones, to be on Danny Davis's side this afternoon. I think everyone might have a look at that in the second period.
Yeah, I think you're right. Although Chris Marriott's an excellent defender, it's difficult whichever side you go, really.
Starting and Anflin, when you are, and let's make no bones about it, they were 10-1 underdogs at least today.
Yeah.
But when you get him in after the 45, especially with the youngsters, they start believing a little bit.
Absolutely, and I think that you can only try and instill that belief into them, but they have to go and play for 45 to believe it themselves. They have to go and test themselves against it. There's nothing to fear here now for Colwyn Bay, and they're definitely well within the game.
McManus gets tugged back. Could be interested on the first yellow here now. He may say, yeah, there it goes. That's what they call a technical yellow, which I don't think Christian Platt's even going to argue about. It's the tug back of the shirt as Williams goes past him. It's McManus, by the way, yellow, no doubt.
And that's why they play so well as a pair. You know, they've gone. You know, Williams has flipped it on, McManus has run in behind, and Platt's, you know, taking the yellow there. Which is understandable.
We're talking about big moments in cup matches now. This is the 5th, almost on half time. This is key. They must not go too deep onto the edge of that 6-yard spot. Now they've got to get out 12 spot at least.
Yeah, I think Steve would wish he could go on himself to try and head this out. You know, at such a pivotal moment.
Pivotal moment in the game. You are right. Brobble with the right or Marriott with the left. It's one added minute. It's Marriott with the left, whips it in, headed away. The volley, just over the top. It was a great volley, first effort, first time volley.
Great technique from
Leo Smith.
Yeah, great technique. But Colwyn Bay did really well to defend it for first time. Ball comes in, Carrington heads it clear. Trying to get pressure on the ball, but at the edge of the box. But great technique from Leo Smith. Yeah. I think Coughlin had that one
just
covered.
About covered, but it was, like you said, it's a superb effort from Smith. He's playing on the left of a 3. I think he's more happier playing right or centrally.
Yeah.
Hooked away once more by Danny Davis, the goal scorer. Starting to score regularly, and it's his goal that gives his team, TNS, a 1-0 advantage heading into half-time. But in the last 25 minutes at least, Colwyn Bay are putting on a spirited show here at Bellevue, and there's plenty of action left, and the result is not a certainty yet. Don't go away. We look forward to keeping you company in the second period. From Neil and Mark Jones, see you in the second period.
Efo chi dros bob blewen o wair heddiw? perfformiad gwych. Mi wnaethoch chi selio hi yn y diwedd.
Rownd gynderfynol, Cwpan Cymru yn yr heilwen, yn yr rhel, ac tystiau llachar Bae Colwyn. Oedd y beth mwyaf llachar am y perfformiad yn yr agoriad, Andy Colwyn yn sigledig ar Seintiau Taro. Maen nhw'n mynd am y dwbl, ar ddwbl, Danny Davies yn cael y gol gynta. Tasen o VAR, efallai, ddim wedi cael cipolwg arni eto, am felly fflach gan y Bae, ond hanner cyfleoedd yn unig. A mae yna her o hanner i ddod yn yr ail hanner. Un i ddim yn unig. Mae Mark Lloyd-Williams wedi camu lawr o'r pwynt sylwebu nôl ato ni. A dyna fydd y newyddion gorau i Steve Evans o'i dîm. Mae dim ond un gol sydd yn di, Mark?
Ia, maen nhw wedi setlo mewn i'r gêm tuag at diwedd y hanner cyntaf yna. Oedd yn disgwyl i Seintiau allan ar dan, wrth gwrs dal Bae Colwyn yn cysgu ac i tempo a'i chwarae sy'n mynd i fel yn gyflym, mynd i achosi problemau fel nath o. Ond doedd am niffin Bae Colwyn ddim ar ei gorau pan gafo nhw gol, ond ddim wedi tyfu 5 munud dwytha fydd Steve Evans yn falch o bod nhw wedi dechrau creu hanner cyfleon i'w tîm ac maen nhw rwan yn ymosod ag at cefnogwyr hynna'n yn yr ail hanner a fydd yn rhaid i 3 chwarter awr pwysig iawn ac rhowch popeth i ni wan a cael y gol nesaf.
Ie, dyn ni o gwbl o'r cyfleoedd cynnar. Nawr, diddorol glwyd o Teddy Jones jyst yn sôn am chi ddim yn chwarae yn erbyn tîm fel y Seintiau Newydd yn aml yn y gyngor yma. Dyma ddi un rheswm am y dechrau sigledig yma, Colwyn yn y gol yn enwedig.
Ie, falle fod yna chydig bach o nerfusrwydd hefyd yn chwarae yn y rwng gynderfynol o Seintiau di yn arfer wrth gwrs, ond i gafodd Seintiau cyfle ar ôl cyfle. Nath Colwyn arbediadau da, nath o un falle camgymeriad, gafel ni ar ail gyfle, ond o'n i'n meddwl bod o'n camgymeriad hefyd am y gol. Nid falle ar y cae, ond yn ystafell newid cyn y gêm bod o'n gan neb ar y post yn bella.
Ie, gen i weld y gol. Nawr, a beth oedd arwen at y gol hefyd, achos dyn nhw'n wedi helpu hunain fan hyn?
Na, a pan ti'n chwarae pas fel ar nôl, ti eisiau gwybod pa droed ydy troed cyrfa y gol geidwad. Wedi chwarae i droed wano, felly di'r cliriad dim di bod yr ora. Mae probl di gweld hamar cyfle a di manteisio ar hynna. Ac o'r arbediad yna, mae'r di gornel di dod a mae'r gol. A nath i dar y braich Dan Davies sy'n gwestiwn arall ar postyn. Ond i fi ti angen cael rhywun ar y postyn pella na. Os rhywun ar y postyn pella, maen nhw'n penio honna allan. Ie,
mae hi. Bydde VAR yn edrych, bydde nhw dal yn edrych yma, Cemag.
Bysa mi, ond i fi mae'r gwaith cynllunio yn y stafell newid cyn y gêm ddechrau yn sortio un allan.
Ie, yw ti'n mynd eog o beidio wneud na, neu dim yr elfen? Mae lot o dîm ddim yn rhoi rhywun ar y postyn pella.
Oes, dwi'n meddwl dyna ydy'r arddull newydd bod y golwyr rhan gwylio gymaint o gêm ar y teledu, maen nhw'n gweld gêm ar uwch yngred os yna neb ar y postyn bella neu'r postyn agosa, o rai fi wneud yr math, ond weithiau y rhen drefn di'r gorau cael pobl ar y postyn a wedyn o bel yn cael ei chlirio.
O ran Bae Colwyn, ni'n wedi gweld llawer ohonyn nhw, mae cwpl o gyfleoedd fan hyn, dim ond un cyfle sy'n angen serch hynny.
Ia, twyd bel hir lawr y canol, Cestyn Davies cael ei ddal ar ei stodla, ac ti'n rhaid ti reid clod i safle cychwynnol Colwyn Roberts o fanna. So ar ei sodla, dwi'n meddwl cyrpyn cyrraedd yna o'i flaen o, ond efallai dyna di'r lle chwarae ti cefn i'r amddiffyn, cael cyflymder Kirby a Sam Jones ar ochr arall i geisio cael lawr ochra y Seintiau Newydd.
Hanner cyfle fan hyn hefyd, maen nhw jyst angen bach o look am hynny, a bach o hyder.
Ia, hyder wrth gwrs yma, Christian Platt gath o cyfle, ond mae'n neud y ddam yn cyrraedd y bel gyntaf o flaen Davies, ond mae eisiau pinnau nôl tuag at y gornel a pinnau o lle ddoth i yn trach na'r pinnau nôl yn syth i ganol y gol.
Pryd yn yr ail hanner, maen nhw'n mynd i chwilio Seinc y gegin y taflu honna at y Seintiau Newydd. Sy'n dal yn un i ddim, mae'n siŵr pam lai.
Ia, wrth gwrs yn sôn, yn y Sylwebaeth, nath Conwyr i gêm i Seintiau Newydd yn y rwng gyntaf, dwi'n meddwl, ac gath Colwyn Roberts gadw nhw yn y gêm. Tuag at diwedd y gêm gath Conwy gyfleuo'n ennill y gêm ar y noson yna, tuag at y diwedd. Ond efallai fydd Bae Colwyn wedi gweld hynna, a da ni dal yn y gêm yma, a rhaid jyst ni saff bod ni ddim yn ildio'r gol nesaf. Pa byddai'n cael gol nesaf, un holl bwysig.
Ie, yn union. Un i ddim yw ar hyn o bryd yn Sylwebaeth Saesneg pnawn yma, gyda Mark Jones, mae'r rheolwr y Flint, Neil Gibson. Braf cael ei gyda ni ar Sgorio, mae fe gyda Sioned Dafydd nawr.
Diolch, Del. Neil, it's great to have your company. And first of all, give me your reflections on that first half.
Yeah, I think, it started the way that we expected. 10 minutes, CNS came flying out the traps and Colwyn Bay looked a little bit like a little bit like it was their semi-final, it was their big game, but they've eased themselves into it after the goal, and I think maybe the last 20 minutes they look like they're going to cause TNS some problems, and while it's 1-0, they're definitely still in the game.
I have to say, it's a brilliant occasion. We all love the Welsh Cup. The sun's shining, the crowd have been fantastic so far, and of course you've got some fantastic memories in this competition.
Yeah, obviously it's great to see the level of support that Colwyn Bay have brought with them today, and my recollections of obviously the final at the racecourse where there was 800 Bangor fans, 800 Prestatyn fans, and coming out on top of that, it's a really prestigious cup competition. It's something I always want to try and do well in it each year, and it's nice to see Colwyn Bay having that run, because I think that's what makes the competition really special.
And Neil, at the moment, say if TNS were to go ahead and win the whole thing, then that would mean that third place in the league, that would be the European spot. Flint well and truly in the mix. It would make things very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And, congratulations to Penybont on Friday night and Rhys Griffiths and the job that he's doing there. But I think probably the other teams in the top six were kind of hoping that TNS do the double, if we're honest, to try and open up that extra spot in the league. But, we're really enjoying being in and around it at Flint and being in with a shout for competition to get into Europe at the end of the season, because, we've come a long way in 12 months, and, so it's nice to be in that position. And obviously the neutrals here want Colwyn Bay to come back in it, and I suppose the top six teams want TNS to go on and win.
Just quickly, Neil, Colwyn Bay, do you think they've got a goal in them in that second half?
Yeah, I think that, when it's 1-0, you've always got an opportunity, in the league. For Flint, we scored in the 93rd minute, and I think if you can keep this, 1-0 for as long as possible, then I think, Colwyn Bay have got a goal in them definitely, and maybe, Kirby or, who knows, Steve Evans coming on off the bench.
Well, Neil, thank you very much for your company. I'll let you make your way back up to that commentary position. Wel, y Seintiau Newydd sydd ar y blaen o gol i ddim ar hyn o bryd, ond gall Bae Colwyn achosi sioc arall. Gewn ni weld yn yr ail hanner ar ôl yr egwyl.
Mi wnaethoch chi eich chwalu hi heddiw. Mi wnaethoch chi orffen honna'n wych a chodi'r to.
Croeso nôl ato ni Erchel, le mae'r gwylanod yn gwylio'r gwylanod. Dyna enw Bae Colwyn. Sa'n gweld hwnna'n hedfan yn bell, chwaith. Lot o bêl-droed i ddod wrthnos yma. Joe Jock ar Jinx Albanaidd a Jiw Javin Jenkins yn cyflwyno. Owen Tudur Jones yn cyflwyno go iawn. Cofiwch am hwnna nos fori am 9 a cofiwch amdano ni. Diwedd yr wythnos, bron diwedd yr wythnos. Nos Iau, Cymru, Awstria. Y ddwy wlad yn ceisio cyrraedd cwpan y byd. Mae mor syml â hynny. A chlysur enfawr yn Stadiwm Dinas Caerdydd am ail hanner. Eitha mawr i ddod fan hyn hefyd. Un i ddim y Seintiau Newydd. Nôl â ni at Owen Tudur Jones. Mae Mark Lloyd Williams fan yna hefyd gyda Nick Parry.
Welcome back to Bellevue in a very sunny rill, as they say. 1-0 ahead, TNS in the JD Cymru Welsh Cup semi-final. Alongside me still is ex-Prestat in town and Flint Town manager Neil Gibson. Enjoyed the first half alongside you, Neil. Looking forward to this now?
Yeah, it's even looking at the way that the Colwyn Bay players have come out for the second half, they look like they've got a little bit more spring in the step. They look like they believe it a little bit more, so hopefully you know, they can take that into the second half.
Yeah, there's plenty to build on in the first half, as we said. When it is a David and Goliath and it's still 1-0 at half-time against a 30-point clear or almost team in the Cymru Premier, you have to say you're still in with a shout.
Definitely, and I think, you know, that they look like they're settled into the shape already, how we expect the second half to go. They're setting that block that we spoke about earlier in the first half, but from that position they've definitely got players who can break out of that, like that there, where Linfield wins a ball back and within one pass you can go and counter-attack.
There is Stephen Evans. He's done it all before in this league. He's won the Cup and League many times.
Been a fantastic player in the league, hasn't he? And you know, in his time at TNS as well. So it'll be a bittersweet one for him today, but he'll be hoping to get one over on his old club.
Obviously, Neil, Stephen left our league and went to Wrexham, and then a few months later he was selected as a Welsh international. You're involved every day with our league. Is there a possibility of anybody making a cap from our league in the next couple of years?
I think we've got some good players in the league, and I think there's players that do have the potential to go on and play in the Football League potentially, and if that happens, then I don't see why there's a couple of players there. You look on the pitch today, players like Danny Davis, Leo Smith and Ben Clark have definitely got the capability to go and play higher, I think.
Especially maybe for the under-21s, or, you know, it'd be nice to see somebody get the breakthrough there. Just give it a bit of recognition.
Yeah, I think it would for the level that the league's at now, because I think that it probably doesn't get the recognition it deserves outside of here.
Redmond gets it wide again. Keston Davis. They've dropped into that block, as you spoke about it, on the 5-4-1 across the front lines. They'll soak the pressure up all day, and Stephen Evans will be saying to him, stay in it till the last 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, and just on that point there, where, you know, Jordan Williams again making the run into the channel, trying to get down the sides of the wide centre half, this time Carrington on this side, whereas you're quite right, he was having a little bit more joy earlier on until Steph Edwards got hold of him on the other channel.
There are your next encounter, Neil, your next game with Flint.
Yeah, we've got Penabont next Saturday, which obviously they play Newtown on Tuesday night, and then we're hoping that you know, they'll have a little bit of a hangover from the Welsh Cup heroics on Friday night, but knowing Griff and the staff, they'll have them firmly at it.
Are you home or away next Saturday?
Home next Saturday.
Yeah, right. And how do you see the chase for second? Obviously you're in the top. I'm not putting the pressure on you to actually give a team, but how tight do you think it will go? Down to the wire?
Yeah, I think it will. You know, I think everyone's capable of beating each other, and at the moment everyone's taking points off each other, which is probably why TNS are so far clear as they are this season.
And you must be so pleased to be in our top six, seeing the quality of clubs in the bottom six. It's you know, somebody as a big club may be in trouble.
Yeah, I went to watch the game last Saturday between Conisky and Barry Town, and it was 11th against 10th in the league, and you know both clubs have got a
quality clubs. There's a ball in behind there. Will he get there, Coughlin? Yeah, he swept quite well since the first 20 minutes.
He's done that well there. Yeah, you've got to be aware of that with the turnover of ball. But yeah, it's you know, Connaski and Barry teams you'd expect to be in Europe, who are currently in the bottom 6.
So the strength of it. That's the long one for Keston Davis. Got to be some sort of pressure put on Keston Davis. That is one of my pet hates, Neil, as a manager, as a follower of football.
Yeah.
If the goalkeeper kicks it 70 or 80 yards and the centre half is given a free header, that is not on.
No, you're right. And I think sometimes that, like, coaches and teams will set themselves up to kick in a certain direction on one centre half or the other, and if the goalkeeper doesn't quite get it right, then it looks a bit soft.
Astles gets that one wrong. Not the greatest of starts. It's 49 minutes on the clock.
Steve looks happy still with the way things are going. You know, I know deep down he'll be probably wanting to fast forward and take this result, you know, with another 30 minutes to go, and then have 10 minutes of throwing everything at them really to try and get the equaliser. There is a number 15, Stephen James Evans, on the bench. Could you see it happening? Well, I just said it at half-time talking to Sean. You know, if there's going to be a chance for 10 minutes to go, is it written for Steve Evans to come on and score? What a story that'd be.
Puck clear. Redmond heads it forward. McCready in midfield. Clark, wonderful.
I think like there with McCready heading the ball back, whilst it looks okay, you're turning possession over. If you can take it on your chest and take a pass, that's where, you know, Colwyn Bay are going to get the joy on the turnovers.
Smith, Redmond skips past his marker, just goes back towards Connor Roberts. The sun belting down on him. Davis.
I don't think we've seen enough of Danny Davis potentially for TNS's liking as an attacking threat going the other way.
Well, unbelievably, I don't think, and it's a long time since I've been commentating on Chris Marriott, I don't think he's got forward all afternoon.
And it's pivotal in the shape that TNS are playing with the diamond, and the fullbacks get themselves forward. And you know, fair play to the way that Steve set Colwyn Bay up, that they look to have dealt with that threat quite well so far. Obviously, it's how well they can keep doing that, but this will be important.
Yeah, Brobble's going across. He'll most probably take the right foot in swinger. Astles again goes in. He'll be the main target. Obviously, Blaine Hudson still not playing, who's the other giant of a centre-back.
Yeah.
Brobble will stand this under the post. Near post he goes, looking for the flick.
Yeah.
And that's not quality.
They do try that one as well, as much as they're a threat, putting things into the 6-yard box and aiming for Astles and Hudson or Keston Davis today. They do the one where McManus or Rob Leslie, if he plays, goes in front of the near post for the flick on. And
yeah, I think Penabont did it against them as well.
Yeah.
To get a goal. And they've used that a few times.
I think it's, you know, another, you know, credit to the league that, you know, all clubs now are trying all sorts.
Very inventive.
Very inventive, yeah.
Just, you have to be brutally honest, sometimes it just hasn't taken off with a semi-final atmosphere. Whether it's because all the Bay fans are behind the goal, and
I think what they're looking for is just one little spark, aren't they? And I think then that, you know, if Colwyn Bay score, and then the Bay fans will be up singing, and it'll change the whole dynamics of it. And that's what it was like in the quarter-final against Connaski. They were really noisy and really loud.
Before Anthony Limbrick, a 1-0 victory would just be another day at the office and another trophy on the way.
Yeah.
Should they get to the final?
Definitely.
Roberts takes a touch, clears his lines with his left foot, then says he didn't want it back to the fullback.
I think that's what the Bay fans now starting, like we spoke about before, just giving them a little spark, something to get themselves into. Sam Jones putting a bit of pressure on Connor Roberts. He's looking for a pass, but maybe they need to do that, start to edge 10-15 yards further forward to put the pressure on. Yeah,
pressure has to start coming on a little bit, and now, especially in front of their own fans behind the goal, just try and pin him in for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Marriott, it is, hooks it clear. Williams is after it. Platt. McManus gets in before Platt gets his way into the box. He'd have to stand his ground. Platt does well and gives the corner away.
It's the old adage there, Jonah, isn't it, that you say never let the ball bounce, and I think, you know, with McManus and Williams around, you let it bounce and they can take control of that area. So, you know, probably, you know, Platt will wish that he'd have dealt with it slightly earlier, but it's under pressure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether, if McManus does get on the scoreline this afternoon, his celebrations, because like we talked about in the first period, it's 4 games for him since he scored. He's, apart from that, I think he scored every other game.
I can't see it lasting too much longer, to be honest, and Colwyn Bay will be hoping it's not happening today. But he's
Robble, near post one again, straight into Coughlin's hand that time.
It's another good area, though. I think if, you know, it's put into an area for people to go and attack.
Yeah, I think it's just gone over the head there of McManus. I think it is again. It makes a near post run.
Yeah, and in fairness to Coughlin, what he's done better there that didn't happen at the goal is he's not got himself tangled with Williams on and around him.
Davis, Ryan Edwards, he scored an absolute screamer against Connors Key. Oh, how he could wish for another one like that today. McCready, can he switch the play? Gets stole by Leo Smith. Smith just keeps possession. Great ball, McManus, Brobble. Will he take it on early? Brobble gets a shot off over the top of the bar. They got numbers back very quickly there. Colwyn Bay.
Yeah, they did, and I think that's just maybe the difference of, you know, over TNS. You know, TNS turned the ball over within 2 or 3 passes. They've made the right decisions and they're getting a shot off on goal. And Tom McCready's a good player. You know, it's unlike him to lose the ball in that area, but they got back, bodies behind the ball, and forced a shot outside the box. So Ryan Edwards did well there. You wouldn't want Ryan Brobble really having too many shots from that sort of area, though.
Well, he's one of the better strikers of a ball from the edge of the box, as you say. Brobble, over the years, he's been always gets himself 9 or 10 goals a season and 9 or 10 assists.
Yeah,
he is on the red carpet of Cymru Premier League players, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he probably has that little bit of extra quality than most in the league, and he can go both ways with his finishes from there.
Free kick again for McCready to put into the box. Adrian Chiselvich. Sure he'd like to get a run out.
He brings a whole different dimension again, doesn't he, with his pace in behind. It's good options for Anthony Limbrick to have.
McCready. It's into the mix. Connor Roberts misses his chance here. It's oh, just about. Connor Roberts came and tried to catch it instead of punching it, and the error was forced. Referee blows up, and it's just starting to create a little bit of atmosphere, which is what we talked about. The first incident has to be a punch, I think, from Roberts.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a difficult area, isn't it, for him to come? He's made the decision to come. Yeah, and I don't think he's got any at the ball there.
They're asking for a penalty.
Asking for a penalty, yeah. It's always a difficult one. I think, you know, keepers get looked after a little bit there, but and then that handball's very, very difficult one to give when it's bounced up against him than intentional.
Just about, I think.
Just about,
yeah. Just on outside the area as well, Stephen Evans. Yeah. But that's exactly what they're trying to build, a little bit of pressure. It's asking the 4th official now. Wardy was 4.
Well, you rightly said about 5 or 6 minutes ago, Mark, about trying to how to create a spark in the game, and they've had a couple of little moments now, and the noise has lifted behind the goal, and Colwyn Bay fans are starting to get into the game now.
I love it when a goalkeeper comes for the ball, but when they come as far as that, they have to make the right one. Punch or catch. Catch on the edge is sometimes very difficult. Davis gets in there first. McCready. Colwyn heads it forward. Astles, Redmond goes back. Then back passes are not the greatest this afternoon.
And you can see the intent there again. I think it was Sam Jones who wants to go and run and close Connor Roberts down. You know, it's a bit of a lively pitch, and you don't want back passes.
I don't think you're doing goalkeepers any favours. Clatters through him after he's dropped it.
Yeah, you know, I've got to be honest. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking that I'd be asking for. Yeah, I'd be asking. You know, Platt heads the ball. Connor Roberts doesn't make contact. Grabs him around the neck. I think that's a penalty.
Very much a chance of being one anyway. Bit more pressure. Smith tidies up well. May got away with a high foot there. Platt.
You can see the belief coming now.
Yeah, they're just starting to believe they have a chance of getting a goal. And again, it's a back pass. And causing the goalkeeper murder at the moment.
Yeah. But the 15-20 yards further at the pitch, Jonah, aren't they? And I think that's what, you know, that's what's creating those opportunities for going close to keep it down.
Which obviously they have to deal with things their own end. It'll suit Williams, it'll suit McManus, but they simply have to have a go. It's a cup tie, it's half hour left on the clock.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like you've rightly called it, once you go and press a little bit higher, if it does open those opportunities, you know, they're showing Paul Harrison there, but I think even he'd struggle, as good as he is with his feet, he'd struggle on, you know, receiving those sort of back passes being closed down.
It's not Park Hall, shall we say. McCready working his socks off up top now. Centre forward Kirby, he's just trying to get on something. Smith sends the pass through. Clark, Steph Edwards. Clark does fantastic there, Ben Clark. And it's a great recovery tackle by Craig Linfield. That's tremendous doubling up.
But I think as much as you know that TNS have got the quality when they turn the ball over, you know, I think Astles and Keston Davis certainly know they're in the game now with Kirby and Sam Jones.
Absolutely, and we've got to be fair. The pitch is definitely not suiting them.
No, it's not, but TNS will still try and play the same way, which gives Colwyn Bay an opportunity to try and be brave and go and press it higher at the pitch, because it looks like that's been a bit of a, you know, a directive from Steve and his coaching staff.
There's Brobble there trying to keep the ball in play. If anything, Conor Roberts has had an uncomfortable last 10 minutes. Another back pass directly at him, and he gets away with that massively. You shouldn't be side-footing that. You've got to put your foot right through that.
Yeah, I think you've just got to go for elevation, haven't you? You know, just try and clear it as far away as possible. But Kirby putting pressure on him, Sam Jones putting pressure on him. It's obviously something that they're looking to try and do now.
.50s starting to be won by Colwyn Bay. They're really digging in here, trying to stir up this shock result.
And I think now, you know, with the wing backs there and Carrington slipping it out to the right to Joe Williams, and you know, that's there is where you can get around TNS's diamond if you're good enough on the ball.
4 semi-finals Colwyn Bay: 1930, 1983, 1992. And this is their 4th, 2022. They've never reached a final.
I think they'll, you know, I think those behind the goal now will certainly enjoy their evening if they can turn that around this afternoon and make the final tonight. Looking at the bench starter, which Baker is it?
Baker came on and scored a marvellous header against Penabont a couple of weeks ago to give him a 3-2 lead before the Penabont equaliser to make it 3-all. McManus. Brobble. Just not as silky on the grass. It's bobbling everywhere. Danny Redmond, does he take on a long shot? No, it just guides the pass wide to Marriott in the last third for a...
I think Colwyn Bay got everyone back behind the ball now, which is what TNS will be wanting now, to try and control the game again back in Colwyn Bay's half.
Astles, Limbrick on the touchline, very animated. Davis cuts inside. Davis to Clark. Clark looks like the one who can unlock him. Davis gets a shot off. Davis, Coughlin, 2-0, offside flag, no goal. Jordan Williams. Davis with the shot. Linesman raises the flag. It's not 2-0.
That's the sort of combination play, though. You know, Danny Davis and Ben Clark, both two excellent players, had good seasons. Little combination play, you know, 1-2, hard to track the runner. Just looking at this now. Oh, looks close. It's hard to tell from our angle.
He just steps up. I think 14 just steps up.
Yeah, Carrington.
As he has the shot off. If he has, it's a smart decision. Carrington, chance here to get it. Goes forward. Oh, it's good defending. The big man, Astles, used his body.
Yeah, he handled that situation well, didn't he? He sent him where he wanted him to go and just eased it out. But
Kirby is becoming busier and busier, and he's chasing every ball now. And there's a little bit of belief in the Seagull fans behind the goal.
Well, you know, you talk about pivotal moments in games, and you know that offside decision, 2-0. You know, things are different. You know, Colwyn Bay will take the lead from that.
Steph Edwards knocks it long, out of play.
You look at the quarter-final where, you know, Coughlin makes a save from the penalty at 0-0, and it, you know, it instills them to go the other end and win the game 2-0. So potentially that offside goal not given, you know, can have the same effect for them.
Absolutely. What do they say? Sometimes your name is on the cup, and they'll still be believing that they have a chance. If they can get it to 1-1, there won't be no extra time, by the way, this afternoon to the viewers. It'll go straight to a penalty shootout, and that would be dramatic here in front of all these fans, especially if they're taking down the Colwyn Bay end.
I think as well, you know, it helps Colwyn Bay a little bit, because you know you've only got 90 minutes to play. You know, extra times obviously favours the team that's full time.
Yeah, definitely.
So they've got 30 minutes probably from here on in to try and you know, force their way through into the final.
But with an hour gone, 64 minutes gone on the clock, Neil, the way they've set up and the way they've competed against the team who've strolled the Welsh Premier, the Cymru Premier League, you have to give them credit. They don't look like a team who've been beaten 3-0 in the last 3 weeks.
No, not at all. And there's good players in the Colwyn Bay, you know, team, and you know they're definitely, you know, giving TNS a really good fixture this evening.
Joe Williams will try and press Marriott to put him out of play. Marriott fortunately keeps it in play. Redmond, no panic from him. He stole it on the edge there. Chance here for the 1-0. Oh, it's a great save from Roberts.
Oh, that's a massive chance.
Yeah, there's a massive chance for James Kirby. The pass was a deft, beautiful pass. Kirby.
Yeah, it's Ryan Edwards gets on the front foot and presses it high up the pitch. Lovely little weighted pass through, and James Kirby, could he lift it? Could he maybe lift it? As good save from Connor Roberts as he comes out, but pressing a little bit further up the pitch. Great run from James Kirby, and can he just lift it? And Steve knows that's the big chance for them.
Yeah, we are talking about cup giant killers. When you get them chances, they got to go in, Neil.
Yeah, definitely. You know that they'll be ruining those moments.
A little bit going on in and around the area. Sam Jones having a quiet word off the ball by the look of it with Roberts.
I think you've got to do this, though, if you're Colwyn Bay. You've got to try and make it a cup tie. You've got to make it an event.
Absolutely.
You know, maybe you called it just after half-time. It's maybe a little bit too quiet, you know, and they've raised the bar a little bit now, and the fans are in the game.
McCready puts it in. Roberts comes and collects. Roberts, that is the one thing most probably that Paul Harrison, if you could mix the two, I think there would have been a Premier keeper between them, because Harrison is such a brilliant shot stopper, maybe airily.
Yeah, you know, TNS have so much of the ball that he, you know, H makes some really good saves, but you know, maybe early from crosses, Connor Roberts is more of a presence.
Steph Edwards hooks it on.
I've been impressed with Sam Jones today, Mark. I think he's a player that, you know, has really carried a threat and high energy from Colwyn Bay. He's done well for him today.
Yeah, he was excellent in this the quarter-final against Cardiff Met. Didn't really see a lot of the game against Connors Keane. Roberts. I don't think Connor Roberts will be talking to his centre-halves much tonight. This is unbelievable. They're slaughtering him with his back passes.
Well, I think, you know, again, fair play to Colwyn Bay. They're pressurising it now. They know it's an uncomfortable back pass for him. You can see the ball bobbling. They're going. You know, Sam Jones is getting the crowd involved as well there, which is good to see.
I think there'll be a few quiet words in that changing room after, especially after watching the highlights. Cross in. But they're starting to pepper the TNS goal, and they're pushing them back.
Yeah, they're doing well, and if you always know in moments against TNS, if you can have 5 minutes, you've got to take advantage of that and score when you have those killer moments.
Enthusiasm and graft is not lacking any at all. Redmond and Ben Clark, for me, have been the best two players in the afternoon for TNS. Just more comfortable and controlled when they're on it. Williams, Steph Edwards gets the header away. Clark, ball bobbling around there now.
And this will be interesting. Yeah.
That's the one in behind again. Kirby trying to run Keston Davis.
Fantastic. And I think that's what Colwyn Bay have got to do more, is turn them in behind, get the centre-half space in their own goal, pressurise the ball back to Connor Roberts and play in their half.
I think you could see Evans just stand to believe a little bit now, Neil.
Definitely, you can see him there encouraging his players to continue to keep doing what they've been doing last 10 minutes.
Because if Danny Davis and Chris Marriott are going to get it higher, that ball again, that bobbling ball either side of the two centre-backs, it's not a striker's dream, but I'll tell you what, it's a defender's nightmare. Chance here on the volley. Ooh. Maybe being a bit braver and going in for it then.
Could Joe have stepped onto it, maybe?
Absolutely. I think he's shown his frustration there, Joe.
Yeah.
If he has a go at it, he might have encouraged a foul out of Marriott then.
Yeah.
Digital content on Sgorio platforms. Plenty available. With plenty of sport. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and click on there. Ball in behind, Coughlin, who's been relatively untroubled since the goal.
Yeah, he has. He's had a couple of saves that you'd expect him to make and come out for a couple of things, but he's not been under pressure in the way you'd imagine.
Kirby, who's let it bounce. Astles has let it bounce again. That is the golden rule, what you said earlier on, Neil.
Yeah.
There is no way that should be bouncing or hitting that deck, and they're just starting to come under a bit of pressure.
It's we said the same about Christian Platt earlier, and Ryan Astles has allowed it to bounce, and now they're in their half.
I tell you what,
is this a long throw?
I'll bet there's a few Penabon supporters encouraging Collins Key here. Ryan Edwards, Sam Jones popping up everywhere now. Ball across the front, hooked clear by Davis. McManus.
This is the counter-attack you've got to be aware of.
Leo Smith is on the far post by himself. Does he deliver it? Yeah, it's in play. Smith. Marriott whips it across the front, headed away by McCready. Chance. McManus takes it down, gets the volley off target though.
I think this is one of them, not as good a delivery as Chris Marriott would normally put in, but Declan McManus takes it well on his chest. Maybe a couple of weeks ago he'd have had a bit of a more clinical finish there, and that's what happens when you're striking and you haven't scored for a few weeks. You start snatching.
Everything we spoke about, Neil, in the first period, after especially in the first quarter of an hour, we talked about upsets in cup ties. What do you have to do? You have to stay in the game, we both said, until about 15 minutes to go. There's only one goal in it. Get a bit of momentum up. It's there.
Yeah.
No.
And you're probably going to get 3 or 4 chances, aren't you, in a 90-minute period. They've had a couple, Colwyn Bay. The next one's they've got to be taking it.
McCready very tidy in the midfield. He's starting to spread play a bit. Williams.
And the wing backs are starting to get a little bit higher up the pitch now.
Definitely.
For Colwyn Bay.
There's that ball again down the side of the centre backs. I think Joe Williams pressed that down a little bit earlier, but Ryan Edwards, great ability. Edwards always have had. Does he spread it? No. He turns out and leaves Brobble. He gets forward with the ball. Decent ball as well. Jones on the edge, gets a shot off.
You could see as that was building up. Ryan Edwards is comfortable to receive the ball in midfield. One against one, he's rolled it into Sam Jones' feet. Great little turn. You were speaking about it earlier on, about him coming in from the other side and getting the shot off.
Well, I think little did he realise then, Sam, that it was the big man Astles marking him, and if he could just held on to that and run him in the box, he might have asked a question of him.
Yeah, and I think you're right, and I think it's that decision making in the final third. It's a difference sometimes between a TNS that trains every day and another team.
Chiselvich for who? Neil, just putting you on the spot there.
I'm kind of wondering whether they might change the shape to go 4-3-3 and put him out wide on one side and Williams on the other. Maybe sacrifice a midfielder.
Yeah.
Or potentially could put Brobble on one side, Sizovic on the other.
For me, I think it may be just a 1-for-1. I think he'll take Brobble off and bring on Chiselvich
and put him into that.
Danny Davis will be ecstatic at scoring the semi-cup final winning goal if it remains this way.
It's on its doorstep. Only just 5 minutes down the road in Prestatyn, so I'm sure he'll have plenty of people watching this. It's a local game for him. Steve Evans there looking at his boots. Are we going to see the Steve bring himself on?
Well, if the camera pans in on him again, he's starting to take some boots off. Will he throw himself up top for the last 6 or 7 minutes?
Well, you know, Kirby's looked a handful, hasn't he, with runners in and around him. You know, if there's a second body coming up there, and Steve, you know, is a real handful in both boxes.
Just needs to look after what he's doing, though, first of all.
Yeah.
I'd leave it to the last 7 or 8 minutes, because he's organising them well. And will he be as organised if he comes on the pitch?
It's a difficult one, you know, player manager for a number of years myself, and it's not an easy job to do, and trying to balance that.
It was something which dropped out of professional football very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because at the one time, the dag leashes and such, it was very fashionable. But pressure's obviously too much now.
Yeah,
at the top level.
I think it's difficult. Rhys Griffiths brought himself on a couple of times. I was at the game a couple of weeks ago. He brought himself on against Carnarvon, and it's such a difficult thing to do for someone, even as we were talking Steve Evans, Rhys Griffiths, we're talking some of the all-time best Welsh Premier League players there. So if anyone can do it, they probably can.
Clark, Redmond.
This is what TNS will want. They'll just try and take the sting out of the game and keep the ball for a couple of minutes and tire Colwyn Bay out while they were getting their tails up.
Yeah, they have the quality. When they get on the ball, this is, like we said, they got the know-how. Their winning mentality must be absolutely fantastic in that changing room. They've won so much, and to get it back again this season now, titles back, they'll want the double, no doubt.
Yeah, no, they'll want to make a statement, won't they? You know, winning the league by a big margin, and the Welsh Cup to go alongside it.
McManus, Clark, still a beautiful day. Redmond gets a shot off, hooked away. Steph Edwards again, the willing runner. There is James Kirby. Sam Jones, Clark will receive a yellow, no doubt. Hand up.
But I think that's the difference. Whereas they're clearing it now, and Jake Kirby's getting first to the ball, and then you're able to get Sam Jones. And
he's playing right off him now. Yeah, they start to pick up second balls and make them runs.
And Ben Clark and Danny Redmond know that they can't allow him to burst through him there, because he's running straight at the back too. It's one of those tactical fouls they call, don't they?
Of course. Oh, Alex Denny looks to be coming on instead of
Alex Denny normally sit in midfield.
Yeah, will he take Clark off because of the yellow card there now?
Possibly.
Or do you think he'll take
maybe Leo Smith?
Leo Smith.
Yeah, who hasn't played as much recently as probably you would like.
21 it is. It's Leo Smith.
So it'll allow him to put, you know, Denny will go in at the base, and then Danny Redmond back to his preferred left of the diamond, more than likely. Denny's probably a little bit more disciplined defensively.
Yeah, it looks that way. Denny will go in the holding role, and Redmond will go alongside Ben Clark.
Yeah. And then is this Sam Jones coming on?
It is Sam Jones. Surprised that he's just started to have a go. I think Jones, well, he's just received a kick. Substitute. Kieran Evans.
Kieran Evans has, I think, signed from Bradford. He's got good ability. Jordan Evans, his brother, I think, that played for Newtown.
He looks a bit like Jordan, but I tell you what, Kieran, if ever you wanted to make your name as a Colwyn Bay player, son, now's your time. A goal now would put you into that legendary status.
Definitely. And here's Steve, is it? Steve getting ready to come on.
I think the old size 12s are coming back on.
He called it before the game. He said he might have to bring himself on at some point. What storyline that'll be?
He just needs his team to stay in it the next 5 to 6 minutes, and then he can come on with 7 or 8 minutes to go. And any set play then.
I think it's a massive credit to Colwyn Bay, though, that Anthony Limbrick's decided to put a more defensive midfielder in Alex Denny on to try and shore things up. It proves how well Colwyn Bay have done this second half.
Well, they've done tremendous. The cup run's been tremendous. They beat Cardiff Met. They also beat Connors Key Nomads, like you said, 2 top teams.
Yeah.
So it's been a run which has got their club's name back on the map.
I think though that they'll be thinking now they don't want it to end, and you know, when you get on those rolls and the momentum's with you, you know, there's nothing to stop them getting something in these last 12 minutes. Now it's a 12-minute match.
Well, it's one of those afternoons where we often say, Neil, there has to be a gilt-edged chance either end. Which end's it going to be, and can they take it?
I think you're right. You always talk about that when you're in the game. I think Colwyn Bay will get one more chance, and it's just whether they're able to take that.
Roberts, by the way, has been uncomfortable with them bobbling back passes, but the one save was a key save. Oh, he hasn't got enough on the header. Oh, Coughlin does well again.
Yeah, good starting position from Coughlin. Dealt with it well in the end. They've got to take these chances. 3
forwards now, by the way. They've changed their system completely. It looks like Evans has gone to a 3-4-3, which is very, very encouraging. And if he comes on, he's bound to put himself on up top.
He's got good energy, Kieran Evans, and if he gets an opportunity, he can affect it in the final third. So it's nice to see them having a go for it.
Lindley, Ryan Edwards putting it forward. If anything, you just have to put it in behind. Almost gets a free kick. Clark, Brobble, great run from Williams. Great run from Williams. Tries to pull her across. Good defending in the end, though.
Yeah, Carrington's has done really well there. Yeah. Hasn't sold himself. He sent him into the corner. But yeah, Brobble's got the ability to pick that out, and Williams will always make those runs for you. Carrington's dealt with it well.
There'll be no rush with the corner, but it's 18 minutes on the clock, and Limbrick will definitely have his eye on the clock with 10 minutes to go. Marriott, no rush to take the in-swinger.
It's really important now, though, for Colwyn Bay that, you know, they deal with this set piece, because, you know, that they're 1-0 down to a set piece so far, and they'll get another chance as long as they defend these two or three opportunities that TNS will have.
Marriott. Astles will be the target. It's not the greatest of corners. Luckily enough for him, they'll get another chance. Very unlike Marriott.
Yeah, he's normally, you know, absolutely inch perfect with that sort of delivery. It looks like there was a little bit of a block on there. Was it Ryan Edwards that went down?
Kirby puts it out for the second corner. Marriott, another goal now would surely seal the final appearance.
That's Steph Edwards that's headed that way. It's a good header.
Yeah, and of course, if they were to get beat 1-0, they'll be very disappointed. There wasn't much talk at half-time, I think, about it being a handball incident, but it'll be looked at, definitely.
Yeah. I think you're looking at Colwyn Bay now, and I think you're thinking that they've got a big 11-12 minutes with injury time in. They've just got to galvanise themselves and get themselves up in that side of the pitch.
Davis has had terrible luck with injuries. Astles doesn't get the header away. Second bounce. Then he go back to his goalkeeper. Again he goes back to his goalkeeper. Stephen Evans is over on the touchline.
He's definitely coming on now, isn't he? Imminently now. Probably about right. 7-8 minutes left.
Surely not. Surely not. Under 21 games. Switzerland against Wales and under 21s live next Friday night online on Sgorio's Facebook, YouTube and S4C's Click with a 6 PM kick-off. And also Tuesday the 29th at Wales under 21s versus Bulgaria at Rodney Parade, kick-off at 3 PM. Plenty of international action on S4C in the coming weeks.
Keston Davis goes. It looks like he's receiving some treatment. You're right. He's been unlucky with injuries off and on throughout the last couple of seasons, hasn't he?
Yeah, and by the look of it, he has to go off for this. But somebody better give Stephen Evans a watch, by the way, and tell him that there is only 6 minutes now to go. Surely he can't warm up much longer.
Yeah, it's now or never, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to get beat 2-0, get beat 2-0.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if he takes one of the 3 centre-backs off and puts himself up front to try and really go for it.
Oh, he's got to go up, Neil.
Yeah.
Surely he's not going to come on at the back.
No, he won't. He'll go on up soft, I imagine.
Roberts. Marriott plays his way out to McManus. Joe Williams with a good challenge. Headed back in by Carrington. Redmond joins the head tennis. Williams. Great heading ability there from Redmond.
That's the thing about Danny Redmond. He's not scared to do the difficult parts of the game, as well as having such a comfortable left foot.
TNS players, player-wise, I think Redmond's been their best player on the afternoon.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Edge of the box. It's a great tackle again. Oh, free kick. Now's the time for Evans to come on. Brobble gets a yellow card.
Again, though, that little bit of composure on the turnover, Ryan Edwards passes it out, and then Kieran Evans is ready to go and counter-attack against it.
Brobble takes a yellow. Coughlin will take the kick. It's a high line.
Steve Evans asking Mark Petts there again how long's left. I think he's itching to get on.
Well,
this would be a good opportunity if he
should have been. Coughlin, that's right in the mix. It's going all the way. Astles, it's headed up. He's pulled him back then. Could have gone down then.
On the shoulder.
Definitely could have gone down. Redmond, Ryan Edwards. Can he keep it in play? Does well. It's got to go into the mixer at any opportunity now. Left foot or right foot, Kai Owen.
Spinner off him.
Spins his man. Can he get the shot off? Play on, says the referee. Strong challenge. Interested to see which way he'll give this. Yellow card to
Jake Kirby, is it?
It looks like James Kirby.
No,
I don't think he's made contact.
No, I don't think there's too much in it. I think they've both gone for the ball. Probably looks a little bit worse than it was.
Yeah, he sort of stamps, but he stamps onto the ground. He didn't look like he made contact. Maybe a little bit unlucky there, Kirby.
Just looked a little bit tired legs the way he landed, really, more than anything.
That one chance he may look back on his highlights on Sgorio on Monday evening.
Well, he'll hope he gets one more to put it right.
Well, somebody better tell Stephen Evans. I don't think Ronaldo can make a difference in 30 seconds. Evo, where is your watch, son?
I think he's asking Matt Sampson now, his assistant, shall I go on? I think he's just going to make that call.
It may be a double bluff. He's bringing somebody else on instead as the ball's hooked out of play. Four minutes added time we're hearing. Another substitute coming on. Evans in, telling the fourth official, make sure you add all this on. Ashley Woods, another striker, obviously. Interested to see who comes off. It's the defender.
Kai Owen, is it?
Kai Owen. It's a great game, Kai Owen. Well played.
He's worked hard today.
Yeah, good. Very good. Very good indeed.
I think former real player as well, so coming back to Bellevue.
Woods.
Looks like he's going up with Kirby, or Kirby just off him.
4 minutes left. It'll be a moral boosting victory for Colwyn Bay, but unfortunately at present, great ball, exactly what was asked for. Davis does well then, seeing as he's injured, but a moral boosting 1-0 don't get you to the final. Here he is, Stephen Evans.
Yeah, I think he's asking how long they've got, but I think it's time to get on. Evo, just get yourself on. Colwyn Bay now might get 2-3 crosses into the box between now and the end of the game. Need him to be in there for them.
I think Evo better get the Elvis Presley song on. It's now or never, Evo.
So you're going to sing it for us then, Mark?
No, not quite. But I think you better listen to him.
Edwards has done well. Williams, McManus, Coughlin hooks it clear.
Again, good starting position from Coughlin, because anything in behind now is always going to be a threat for McManus to run on to as they squeeze the pitch up.
You'll be so disappointed tonight watching this, Stephen Evans, especially with the goal. It wasn't a quality goal, of course. It's a quality goal to Danny Davis. Yeah. That goes out. Oh, it's the other way.
Yeah, it looked like it took a touch off Chris Marriott's foot there. Ben Clark down as well.
Clark down off the ball. They haven't coasted the victory. But when you win semi-finals, is there a good way to win a semi-final or not? No. It's all about making the final, Neil.
Exactly, you know, no one remembers that at the end of the season. Oh, you got 2 semi-finals, they remember what you won, what you lost. Steve's gone down, warming up again down the side in the 89th minute.
Can't believe he's warming up. There's about 30 seconds to go. Somebody's got to tell him. Redmond has been tremendous. Yeah. That out ball, Coughlin again. May have a career ahead of him as a sweeper, Coughlin. He's been tremendous.
Yeah, he's done it really well.
Marriott. And that's exactly what you want Evans up for now, because Coughlin is just about to launch this.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Astles wouldn't want to be going up against Steve Evans now if the ball was coming from Coughlin going forward directly. 4 minutes left.
It's a great clearance by Keston Davis. He timed it well. It is 4 added minutes.
Here's Steve Evans.
It looks like they're making a substitution, but still not as yet. Have to hurry up with the throw. The time is ebbing away. Carrington. Williams, that's where the diag was on now. Great ball, and that's exactly what you want him on there for. Woods.
Done well to turn it back.
Lindley. Chance to whip it in now. It's gone across the front. Kirby with a touch. Kirby. Goal kick. Astles does well.
Astles does really well there.
Really well. Stood up and just got the tackle in.
Here comes
Steph Edwards.
Steph's had a good game, I think, today. Handled Williams and McManus really well.
Well, with 2 minutes to go, or 2.5 minutes to go, I hope Evo produces something, because he's had a bigger build-up than take that.
Well, it's written in the stars, isn't it?
Well, that's not bad, Evo. Connor Roberts takes his time. The TNS substitution. Also now, I think Louis Robles on for Ryan Brobble.
This has been out of play for a long period of time now. It's important that, that this gets added on.
Yeah, well, the substitution hasn't been made either. Connor Roberts will want to connect properly with this one and at least reach the halfway line. Is there a chance? One more for Colwyn Bay. Long throw. It's got to go in there. There it goes. Evans is in there, just getting in behind. Marriott came around really well. Danny Davis hoofs it clear. McManus. It may be an untidy performance by TNS, but it's an untidy performance, but looks like getting them to the JD Welsh Cup final. Unless, of course, Coughlin. Ian Colwyn had a great game. Evans with a touch. You get the free kick. Play on, says the ref.
Don't.
On the edge.
I don't know if you'd rather have a free kick there.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
the break's on McManus. He'll try and keep it in play. Goal scorers always want to keep the ball in play. Williams is on the far post. Does he hold it up and take it in the corner at 1-0? No, he's looking for goals. Not the smartest of moves there.
No.
Seriously, not the smartest of moves. You're 1-0 ahead.
I think you take that in the corner and keep it in the corner, and I think the game's probably over.
There's a diag again. Keston Davis and Evans off the ball. But they've enjoyed their cup run, Colwyn Bay, and they've done tremendous for their club, and also again this afternoon. It's gone out of play, could be the last ball of the afternoon in the cup run. They produced against Gresford, against Ruthin, against Cardiff Met, and against Connors Quay. Maybe just a step too far against TNS, but they leave the competition with plenty of pride intact.
I think Colwyn Bay, the supporters and everyone associated with the football club will be immensely proud of them, especially the way they've gone against the runaway leaders in the Welsh Premier League today, and they've had a couple of chances that things could have been different.
Can they buy another minute here, Neil, with all these substitutions off the referee?
I think there should be at least another extra minute for the time the ball is out of play, and another sub.
That'll go against them. Corner. There's no way this will come into the box.
Big moments there before, though. The free kick for the foul on Steve Evans, 25 yards out and play on. I think probably if I was a manager, I'd want that free kick from that area of the pitch and be able to put the ball in the box again. And
you'd still be debating the goal?
Yeah, well, you probably would. I don't think it was easy to see for the officials. Here you go, one more chance.
One more chance. Evans up top. Fires it. Full distance. Surely not. Evans. Oh, just not enough pace.
In the right areas, but maybe James Kirby could have been a little bit closer to him.
You have to, as well as congratulating Colwyn Bay, you obviously got to congratulate TNS on making a final, and this sets up a wonderful final against Penabont. Edwards has showed that he still has ability to play in the Cymru Premier League, no doubt at all.
I've been really impressed with Ryan Edwards today.
Tremendous.
I think he's been excellent. Yeah, both in possession, out of possession.
You get the free kick there. Final whistle at Bellevue. A Danny Davis goal gives TNS a Welsh Cup final appearance, and they'll play against Penabont. Final score from Bellevue. And thank you very much, Neil. You've been tremendous with us this afternoon.
Much appreciated, Mark. Fair play. Congratulations to TNS.
Good luck for the rest of the season. The Welsh Cup final will be TNS and Penabont. Look out for the highlights on Sgorio on Monday evening.
Anthony, last weekend you were crowned champions. This weekend you've booked your place in the Welsh Cup final. Not a bad 7 days for you.
Yeah, no, it's been good, and we knew what the game was going to be like today. I mean, the pitch was very difficult to play on. It's no disrespect to Rill at all, but the fact that this can be played on this pitch in a semi-final is unbelievable. I can't believe it, but we had to grind it out. We had to be tough, we had to be physical, we had to show a different side of us again today that I think we've shown in the last few weeks without being able to play our stuff. So credit to the players. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. Probably people would look at the score and go 1-0, we should be doing better than that, but I would disagree. I think they're an excellent side. They put it on us for the whole game, and we're pleased to get through.
Just the one goal made the difference in the end. Was there a bit of luck because there were calls for handball?
Handball for the goal? Yeah. Oh, right, okay, I didn't see it, but I saw it go in the back of the net, and we'll take it with the game that we needed to win, so we're happy to be in the final.
Anthony, I have to say, if last week's game was anything to go by, Penabont, TNS, that's going to be a cracking final.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think they're an excellent side, very, very good side. We've had a 1-1 draw at their place, a 3-2 win at our place, a 3-3, so hopefully not that many goals this time, but no, look, we're looking forward to playing them in the final, and that's the targets that we set ourselves at the start of the season, so we're happy with it.
Thanks for your time, Anthony. Well done.
Thank you.
Diolch fawr iawn I Sioned ac I Anthony Limbrick. Golygfeydd hyfryd o ran Bae Colwyn fan hyn. Y chwaraewyr yn diolch i'r cefnogwyr am eu cefnogaeth, a maen nhw wedi cael cefnogaeth anhygoel drwy'r tymor. Maen nhw man I cannoedd lle 800 o Bae Colwyn sydd yma. Mae'n jyst yn arwydd. Falle o'r hyn sydd I ddod o ran y clwb yma, ond oedd I ddim I fod heddi. Mark Lloyd Williams sy'n cael y cwmni. Jyst yn gyda, Anthony Limbrick. A bod yn garedig o ran Rill, dim diffyg parc iddyn nhw, ond methu credu bod nhw wedi dewis y lleoliad fa ar gyfer gêm mor fawr. Beth am hynny, Mark?
Wel, dwi'n meddwl mae'n iawn cael gêm ar cae gwair. Os ti'n mynd ar cae 3G, mae pob ddim bod ti'n siwtio'r Seintiau Newydd. Os ti'n ar cae gwair, mae fe o liflar I Bae Colwyn.
Felly mae cyflwr y cae gwair sydd yn...
Ia, cyflwr y cae, ia, ond mae wedi bod yn liflar ond eich di ymdopi ar amoda mi wnaeth nhw marfar yma dydd Iau, meddwl fo, ma'n di bod yma blaen. Ryan Aslos di chwarae 2 dymor yma, dwi'n meddwl. Felly mae o'n abod y lle. I fi, so wedi colli sydd yn esgus fawr, ond so fe ddim esgus siodio, mae'n laich ddim dopi am sydd y flaen.
A ni'n ôl i gael mwy o ymateb nawr, ac Steve Evans gyda Sioned.
Steve, I hate to drag you away from your teammates, but give me your assessment of that performance.
Momentous. Listen to that. That's a crowd that deserves to be in the Welsh Prem. Second half, I thought we were fantastic. I thought we were on the front foot. And, didn't create too many clear-cut chances. But, they haven't created any chances second half either. And it was a pretty even game. And, credit to the lads. We had a game plan. We stuck to it. They didn't cause us too many problems. And, I'm just gutted for the lads. They've done fantastic and, probably deserve to go to pens. But, that's football. We've got to dust ourselves down. I asked he interviewed me at the start and I said I wanted commitment and I wanted them to enjoy it. And, they've done that. They've done that and they've given them fans something to cheer about. I'm disappointed because I thought we deserved a draw. But, that's football. Wish TNS all the best in the final against Pen y Bont. But we'll go again. We'll come again. It's about building now, ready for next season.
Steve, thank you for your time, diolch.
Thank you.
Steve Evans, sylwadau diddorol, falle gan i weld y gol fuddigol hefyd. Ond jyst eisiau gofyn, y cefnogwr ma'n heiddi bod yn uwch gyngred Cymru yn y Cymru. A dyn ni'n mynd i weld nhw yno un diwrnod cyn bo hir falle?
Wel, gobeithio, yn wir dros ffil yn y gêm yn Llandudno os wy'n ar dwytha. Ond dwi'n siŵr bod Stephen siomedig o'r gol maen nhw wedi colli'r gêm i pnawn mae cic gornel. So fo'n amddiffynwr, mae'n siŵr bod wedi'n paratoi hwnna wedi amddiffyn hynna cyn y gêm. Ond, dda gweld torf yma ac gobeithio arw fydden nhw'n uwch gyngred Cymru yn o ddian.
Dim ond o amser ar ôl, ond pwy ti'n ffansio i fynd â hi y dwbl i'r Seintiau neu Pen y Bont yn dathlu?
Pen y Bont.
Diddorol, Mark. Fi wedi mwynhau y cwmni, Mark Lloyd Williams. Diolch yn fawr am fod gyda ni pnawn yma. Diolch i chi hefyd am fod gyda ni fan hyn yn yr heilwen, yn yr heil, y rownd ddyfynol i ddod. Mae'n wythnos rhyngwladol, nos Iau, Cymru, Awstria. Os angen dweud mwy, mae'n fyw o'r S4C. Welwn i chi yno. Ta-ra.